Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast live. Yes. Here we go, and I got my main man, the Transformer, here with me. Big Red's not going to be here tonight. G might show up a little bit later. He had some obligations to our wonderful nation to take care of, so we gotta put that first and take care of that. But like I said, I got my main man Transformer here with me, and we are going to get it done. What's good, Transformer?
Man, not a thing but a chicken wing, man. I had drills this weekend too, so tell G no excuses, man. But shout out a salute to him.
I hear that. No doubt. All right, so we got some pretty interesting topics for you here today, as you can see by the rundown. Definitely gonna have some good sports talk like we always do. But before we get to that, you know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't wait. There we go. So now we got those excuse me, we got those particulars out of the way. We can go ahead and get right to it. So
no, man, we not finna skip over something real quick, man. Shout out to the bass, that big baritone Bruce be putting in on the introduction, guys, man. Shout it out. Welcome to the Format Podcast, man. I promise, man.
I appreciate that,
I'm like, boy.
You're a funny dude, Transformer. You're a funny dude, man. We do what we do. So you know what? Before we even get into these topics, man, a couple of interesting notes I definitely wanted to touch on. What's good, Nick? Always good to see you in here, man. Appreciate that.
What's going on, Nick? Hit like Barry White.
My silly,
everything. In the answer to
what you preach. Oh my goodness.
We love you, Bruce, man. We love you.
I appreciate that, brother. No doubt. So you know what's funny? What was it last week when we had to talk? It was either last week or week before, and we had to talk about the Olympic flag bearer, right? And I was saying how I didn't think it should be LeBron, and I think it was G asked, like, if it's not LeBron, who should it be, right? Mm-hmm. And so remember I said Katie Ledecky, right? And and I probably should have said Simone Biles. That's a more well-known person, but more well-known Olympic athlete. But I said Katie Ledecky. That was the first one that came to my mind. You like, who's Katie Ledecky? So let me just remind you of something here, right? Katie Ledecky won the 800-meter freestyle today, I believe.
I saw it.
So, hear this. With the victory, Ledecky won her 9th Olympic gold medal, the most ever by an American woman in any Olympic sport. It also ties her with Soviet gymnast Larissa Latinya for the most golds won by any woman in any sport in Olympic history. Latinya competed in 1956, 1960, 64 Olympics. Ledecky's 14 total medals are also the most ever won by an American woman in Olympic history in any sport, and the most ever won by a female Olympic swimmer from any nation. So remember, I was saying she's like arguably our most decorated Olympic athlete. That was why I came up with that name as someone who should have who was I think better to be a flag bearer than LeBron. Yeah. So that was like what up, Sneed? What's good, bro? Good to see you in the chat, man. But yeah, that was definitely one of the reasons that I had said her name, because I'm like, she might not be a household name, but if you follow the Olympics at all, like, she is 100% legit, right? She is one of our quote unquote one of our goats in Olympic sports. You know what I mean? So that's why I had brought it up.
She definitely did her thing today, man. Shout out to USA, man. Shout out to Ledecky. I watched that entire race, man. I was like, yo, look, they're swimming for 8 minutes straight. 8 minutes straight. Like, I'm exhausted after 30 seconds.
Right? Right.
I'm exhausted.
I can swim, and swimming at 25 is like, Woo! After a 25, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, she's swimming 800s and 1500s. I'm like, oh,
Yo,
like
look,
I'm
man.
I'm watching these competitors, and I'm like, man, these people they are absolute monsters. So
No,
yeah,
man,
it's
it was one heck of a race, man. I was looking at how they ended it. You know,
mhm.
when they touched the end of the lap, neither one of them were breathing hard. I'm like, I'm imagining
Crazy,
myself
right?
like I'm about to be
Right.
somebody get me out of this water, but I'm about to pass out, man.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah,
help me, dog.
yeah, crazy crazy that level of conditioning, man. It really is special. It really is
No,
special.
absolutely,
Sneed,
man.
thanks for that. Thanks for that shout, man. I just took care of that. If you refresh your YouTube page, it should probably be good now. Um, but yeah. So Katie Ledecky, man, real deal. She is she is a problem. And that, like I said, that's why I had suggested that she was the one who, could have been the flag bearer. And again, Simone Biles is another one. She's right there. It's not that serious. What's good, bro? Haven't seen you in a minute. Fantastic. Good to have you back. Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
What's
Thanks so
going
much
on,
for
brother?
joining
What's
us.
going on?
Yeah, it's not that
No, I
serious
mean,
as one of our
my biggest thing
loyal
about it,
listeners.
man, like I said, you couldn't, like I said, we just can't go wrong. You know what I mean? Like it could be a debate on whether who you want. I believe Simone Biles would have been an option. I think she has
Hmm.
something going on that she wouldn't have been able to do it. So I think
Yeah,
that's why she wasn't one of the ones that voted to be the flag bearer or whatnot. But you know what I
right.
mean? It's a couple like big factors, man. I mean, Braun is the bigger name, the household name. You know,
Yeah,
people know
yeah.
him the most.
Hmm.
Then one, I mean, two, we got to know if Ledecky wanted to do it. I mean, you got to kind of want
I,
to do
I,
it.
I can't imagine anyone on the Olympic delegation would say no if they were approached about being a flag bearer. I
Oh,
can't imagine anyone would say no. Would you?
oh hell no. I'm there.
Exactly. Like
I'm Captain
that
America, baby. I'm
yeah,
out there.
even if you don't win your event or you don't medal, like just being the flag bearer, excuse me, for the delegation is
Yeah.
something that puts you down in history. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I see it. But it's all good. But yeah, that I was just that's why she came to mind when we were having that discussion. So
Yeah. Sneed, why, man? Why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it, man? You shy? Hit
yeah.
him in a bit. Shaking with the stick. Go America. Go America.
Right.
I believe in you, Sneed. I believe you would have been a great flag bearer, bro.
No doubt,
Just
no doubt.
stand there and look proud. You know what I mean? You don't even got to say nothing, G.
There it is. There it is. All right, gentlemen. So let's go ahead and I think I should have written them down, man. I totally forgot. I had a couple more like newsworthy notes that I wanted to bring up in the world of sports, but not the other one I had. Yeah. I hear you, Sneed. Okay, that's
Hey,
fair. Yeah, we're gonna leave it right there.
keep it there, man. Keep it right there.
Yeah, we gonna leave it right there. Get demonetized and all that. All right, so another sports topic I wanted to bring up was I don't know if you heard about Caleb Williams in the Bears locker room. Uh, I guess within the last few days, and it became a story because he basically pulled everybody together and told them, "Hey guys, we're a bunch of grown men in here. Let's try to make things easier, I guess, on the janitorial crew, and pick up after yourselves, etc." So Colin Cowherd was talking about this, so he's like, "It's not everything, but it's a little thing, and it shows attention to detail, and all the greats have the attention to detail, and that's a great thing to see." But then Amani Toomer, longtime former New York Giant wide receiver, came out and blasted Caleb Williams. He was like, who are you to come in here? I don't even know if you can play yet. You just a rookie. You coming in here telling me what to do, and I've been in this locker room for however many years already. Amani
True.
Toomer's like, hey rookie, how about you clean up after me? You
Big
know what I'm
facts.
saying?
That's the way it would have been
That's the
back in
way
the
it used to
90s,
be.
early 2000s.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
all right, well, you pick it up, scrub.
Right.
You ain't earned your
Well,
stripes here yet, man.
exactly. So I've heard, a couple of different players giving their thoughts on it. Was it Plaxico Burress and TJ Hushmanzada and LeVar Arrington were all talking about it today on I can't remember the
Wait,
show.
speak.
Up on Game.
Oh, up on
No,
game.
they
Okay.
were on Up on Game on their Fox Sports radio show that they do every
Gotcha.
Saturday at noon. And they were all kind of in agreement with Caleb Williams, like, it shows attention to detail, and it shouldn't be an issue that he's saying this, because as a grown man you probably shouldn't have to be told that anyway. But
Yeah.
I so I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on how you felt about Caleb as a rookie. I don't know if that's his way of showing that he pays attention to detail, or his way of trying to demonstrate some level of leadership at an early stage in his career. So what were your thoughts on it?
First of all, attention to detail, and we talking about janitorial things, man. Seriously,
Well, I
that's what
guess
they
it's all the
said.
little,
That
you know what I'm
attention to
saying?
detail.
Yeah, I guess it's because the little things, right? And it's funny, like myself over the last 2 years, like I would have a habit, like if I throw something by the trash and it don't get in there, yeah, whatever, not that serious. I just leave it. Or you know what I'm saying? And I really had to retrain myself to say, do the little things because the little things add up. And so and I'm not the biggest Caleb Williams guy, and I'm not necessarily saying yay or nay on this whole thing, but the little things do add up, and maybe they show that he's conscientious and he takes the small things seriously, because maybe just by saying, okay, let's do a better job being a little more clean with our stuff in the locker room, maybe that demonstrates, okay, he's going to take the little things seriously, like how he watches film, or how he takes the handoff, or how he
Yeah,
prepares for
yeah.
practice, how he lays out his uniform, all these things which in the grand scheme don't seem like much, but all add up to what could be being an outstanding player in the NFL, right? Because if you talk about all the all-time greats, and I'm not saying he's going to be one, I'm not saying he's not, but you talk about all the all-time greats, they all did like the little things, and the
Yeah.
little things are what build up to the big things, their foundation. Yeah,
I mean,
it's not that serious. I
we're
definitely
gonna.
feel you.
I would care about the little things once you show me you can play first, man. Like
Yeah,
we're like
yeah,
you. I mean, we talking about trash. The
yeah.
Bears are trash. How about let's getting us to win some games, man. Like let's win a couple
Do
of
I
games.
hear a Packer fan talking?
I don't see a rookie coming into an establishment where I've probably been busting my ass for 5-6 years, and he coming in and we're talking about trash. Man, we trash. How about we trash? All right, we need to fix ourselves first before we talk about some freaking picking up trash off the ground, man. And first, you're a rookie, man. I get it. First round overall pick. You know, you got a lot of attention. You come in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback's the head of the household when it comes to the team
Mm-hmm.
and aspect. But you still a rookie, man. You're still a rookie. You
Right.
can't come in here telling veterans what to do, man. Like I get where they trying to go with it, but it's too
Right.
soon. Now, if you were to tell me he did this next year and he's like
Yeah.
coming in next year, like, okay, he's resharpened the focus. Like, hey man, Caleb
Mm-hmm.
Williams came in after a good showing last month and last year, and you know he's paying a little bit more attention to detail. Like that shows me growth as a player, but you haven't even shown me you a player yet. You know what I mean? We talking about trash. It's like Allen Iverson talking about practice. We talking about trash, man.
No,
Like, we
I,
talking
I,
about
I
trash.
can see both sides of the argument. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hear your point, but I guess just trying to show that he's conscientious and the little things make a difference, right?
I mean, the man does paint his fingernails. So I mean, as a man who
Yeah,
paints
I'm
his
not.
fingernails, you would think that he a little clean.
What?
You would think that he a little clean. He likes to be clean, little neat freak. I got to make sure my hands is good. I don't want to touch dirt.
I don't necessarily see that correlation, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I'll just say, as a man, I certainly don't agree that men should be painting their fingernails, and I'll leave it at that. Nick, so Nick, man, here's the deal, right? The Bears, Ryan Poles deserves a lot of credit over the last maybe 18 months or so. He's done a lot to help rebuild that roster and bring in
I would
quality
agree.
guys that can hopefully help Caleb Williams have a level of success, right? Because they saw how bad the team was going to be. They saw that they were likely going to get the number 1 draft pick by by result of Carolina being so bad. And so
Carolina.
what are they saying? Yeah. So what are they saying? They're like, okay, let's go ahead and help this young man out. He's supposed to be generational. If we're going to take him, we got to put him in a position to have success. And I think they've done everything they could thus far to put that to get that ball rolling. And so now
I would agree.
it's up to him and how he accepts coaching and the coaches. So we'll see. He's in a much better position than Justin Fields was in when he got there.
Absolutely. You got like 3 number 1s on your team right now as far as
Yeah, you
receivers.
got receivers, you have a better defense, you now have a real legitimate OC. Like you got a lot of things going on that could help you have success if you're Caleb Williams. But yeah. We talked about NFC North last week, so I don't need I wasn't intending for this thing to get back to a whole protracted Bears discussion.
I mean, you started the show by talking about trash. So I mean,
I did.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, Packer man. All right,
Yeah,
all
I
right,
mean,
I
you
got it.
started talking about trash, a trash team
Okay.
picking up trash. I mean,
Uh-huh.
you're not wrong. I mean, it's a good way to bring in the first segment of the day. Let's go ahead and go into the AFC West preview. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, man. You got Baritone Bruce. You got to make sure that voice changes a little bit, guy.
Man, yeah, for real though. If you're here in the chat, y'all, and you haven't already, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that. All right, let's get it. We got all that stuff out the way. We hit a couple news stories. If Caleb has a meltdown in Chicago and the pros is far harder and the pressure is far harder. Yeah, it's not that serious. You're absolutely right. We're gonna see if he has the mental makeup because we saw him just struggling at USC, and that was like obviously the first time he struggled in football, probably in his football life. And
Yeah,
it didn't look good. And Chicago is a tough town full of tough people, and it's also got a tough sports media. So
tough
we'll
media,
see. Mm-hmm.
tough media. Absolutely.
Yeah, we will see what he can do. All right, so let's go ahead and get to it. AFC West preview. All right, so we, as you can see, we went through the AFC and NFC North last week. So now we're gonna go through AFC and NFC West. So we're gonna kind of preview all these divisions before the season gets started. The regular season commences, just so we can kind of get an idea of what we're looking at. So what team you want to start with in the AFC West? You want to start with the champs or go somewhere else?
Just skip the champs, man. Honestly,
Okay.
what more can you say about Kansas City? What more can you say? I mean,
right.
What are we going to talk about? The
Not a lot.
option and the goal of all in the NFL is to beat that guy, that team, that franchise, to dethrone them. So let's start off with some more interesting topics. Then we can finish with the champs. You know what I mean? So, I mean, because you want to set the bar too high as far as talking Kansas City, then everything's just like, then we got the Chargers,
So let's start there. Let's start there with what's up, AJ? Appreciate you, man. Let's start there with the Chargers. And the reason I want to talk about them, this is interesting, right? Because for years, everybody's been talking about Justin Herbert and how special he is. And he just got a monster contract. What did he get? About 250?
Yeah, I want to say.
So he got a huge deal this past offseason. He gets the coach everybody wanted, Jim Harbaugh, coming straight from University of Michigan, fresh off a national championship. And this is a guy, actually, Jim Harbaugh now has the highest winning percentage of any active coach in the NFL, which is, I'm like, okay. And I mean, we've seen now the guy wins everywhere he goes, and he wins in a very specific way. Some would call it an old school way, right? He believes in physicality in the trenches, running the football, and great defense, and basically just playing sound football. Stop the run, run the ball, right? The way you've always won in football. And so everywhere he's been, we've seen that. He did this at San Diego. He did this at Stanford. He did this in San Francisco. 3 years in a row in the NFC Championship game, won Super Bowl. He was there. He didn't win the Super Bowl, but he got there. We know how hard that is to do in the NFL. He goes back to college.
Who did he lose against?
No, he lost against the Ravens, man. In what I like to call the Har Bowl.
The Har Bowl. I call it the Lights Out Bowl. I think it was I call it Lights Out Bowl, man.
All right, little conspiracy theory. Y'all ready? You ready for this?
What's
conspiracy theory. So I think the Ravens were one of, if not the oldest team in the league that year. And remember, in the first half, they were absolutely running the Niners out of the building.
Absolutely.
And so, beginning of the second half, the lights go out. And what was it, about 45 minutes or so, right?
It was a good minute.
It was a long wait. All those old guys, they got tight. They froze up again. And all of a sudden, after the break, you see the 49ers come roaring back. I think that the NFL had something that I can't prove it, obviously. I think they had something to do with that to make it a more competitive game.
I don't agree with conspiracy theorists, but that day I said somebody saw this game and said, turn the lights out. No.
Yeah, like this is terrible.
This is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Turn the lights out real quick.
Because Baltimore was smoking them, and they needed a more competitive game. They didn't want people changing the channel, especially after the halftime show, right?
Absolutely.
So
it was getting ugly fast, man.
Right. And again, I don't have anything to prove that, obviously, but that's my little conspiracy theory on that. But Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches in football. I truly believe that. He's got a very simple way that he coaches the game, and it has yielded success everywhere. So now he's back. He's got the Chargers job. Greg Roman is his OC. That was his OC in San Francisco. So they're very familiar with each other. They share a like-mindedness on what type of scheme they're going to run. You know what it's going to be. In the draft, instead of getting an elite weapon for Justin Herbert at number 5 overall, they go and they draft Joe Alt out of Notre Dame, who is arguably the best offensive lineman in this draft.
What
and
you
so
need.
they bookend him at right tackle because they have Rashawn Slater, who I believe is all pro at left tackle. So, now they got your 2 bookend tackles. And obviously they are going to do everything they can to run the football. So it should be interesting. Let me get the schedule up here. Meanwhile, what are your thoughts on what you're going to see from Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers?
I mean, I think they're, of course, you coming straight out of college again, getting back into the league, getting back to the swing of things. I think they're about a year or 2 away, man. I'm looking at the roster here. I mean, offensively, seriously, what do you have? You lost your main 2 weapons that Justin Herbert has been trusting in, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen to other teams. So you got Joshua Palmer, Lade McCowney, and DJ Chark. So you got to build up with those guys. You lost your running back. You lost Austin Eckler, and you're trying to replace that with 2 injury-prone running backs and Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. So I think, offensively, it's going to be a little shaky. They're going to have some growing pains with that. Defensively, I mean, all your bros are still there. Jimmy Bosa's still there. I mean, not Jimmy, Joey Bosa still there. Khalil Mack, you got Asante Samuel, you got Derwin James in the back. So, I think it's going to be decent enough to where he's not going to get a lot of backlash this year, I want to say. But I think, it's definitely going to be some growing pains. I say give him a year or 2, and they should be back into the saddle, man. I mean, he has a track record that supersedes itself. So, you have to believe that he's going to turn this team around. It's just not going to be this year. Go ahead.
My bad. No, I was going to say you're not going to expect them to look like San Francisco in terms of going straight to the conference title game in their first year. That's not going to happen. But if those 2 running backs can stay healthy, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, right? Both from Baltimore. That's interesting. But anyway, yeah, man. And Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, was with him at Michigan. He also got him from Baltimore. Very strange how the brothers are just swapping things. But anyway, but no, if those guys can stay healthy, that is exactly what Jim Harbaugh wants to do: ground and pound and play great defense. And they can rush the passer. Obviously, with Khalil Mack, you got an excellent tackler and Joey Bosa, right? If he can stay healthy as well, you got Derwin James in the secondary, who he's not the best cover guy, but he's an elite. He's an elite tackler at the safety position. But
absolutely.
I'm looking here, and I don't think there's not games that they can win right now. I think they probably can beat the Raiders twice. I think they can. They'll beat Carolina here in week 2.
Yeah.
I think they can probably beat the Broncos twice. Arizona should be interesting, but I think they can beat them because the key is going to be continue to play ball the way you play ball and try to minimize the amount of time Kyler Murray's on the field.
Yeah.
New Orleans, to me, just isn't good. They will probably lose to Cleveland. Cleveland's defense is elite. Tennessee, we're not sure what they are at all, but
I don't know. I like Will Levis over there, man. I think Will Levis is going to turn it up a notch this year. So
I think Will Levis is decent, but I think that defense is going to throw the kitchen sink at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cincinnati, I don't know if they're ready for that yet, because Cincinnati, I don't think they are going to be able to score enough points to deal with Cincinnati. But if they can, play them with that same type of mindset to slow the game down and shorten the game by limiting their possessions, then maybe Baltimore, that's going to be a really tough physical matchup. But I'm going to give Baltimore the edge
for sure.
No, I think Baltimore is going to beat them.
JK, guys. JK.
No, that's Dobbins. No, but I think they beat Atlanta. Maybe they get one off.
Got a nice schedule, man. This schedule isn't too bad. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
A good 9-10 games.
Yeah, it shapes up like it's not terrible. So depending on what else happens in the what up, G? Depending on what else happens in the rest of the in the rest of the conference, I mean, they may sneak into the playoffs. I don't think it's beyond the pale to say that happens. So
no, absolutely. That's a favorable schedule. That's definitely a favorable schedule. I could see him winning 9. I mean, they can sneak in 10 with that schedule like that. I mean, I would say that's a successful year. That's definitely a successful year. You know, new coach, you know, pretty much a new offense. You can pretty much say, I mean, you got all new guys. You know what I mean? So
you know what we do have to think about though? Herbert's got plantar fasciitis. So he's gonna be out for like the next 2 weeks. They say that he should be ready for the beginning of the year, but if it's not where it should be, then he's not at 100%.
That stuff creeps up on you every game.
Yeah. So who's the backup? You had the roster, right? Who's the backup quarterback there?
Backup quarterback, that is Easton Stick.
Oh boy, that's right. He was, But you know what though?
But they got that kid out of what's that? With the Frog School, the one that got tore up by Georgia.
TCU. Okay.
TCU. Yeah, they got him.
Yeah. He's not bad. Max
Duggan.
Max Duggan. Thank you. But you know what? If anybody can make that work, it's Jim Harbaugh, right? Because he takes a lot of the game off of the quarterback's plate, right? So he knows how to.
Yes. Yeah, we've seen that with JJ McCarthy.
Exactly. Right. So, you know, there's that. All right, let's go ahead and move to the Broncos. I don't know what
about bottom of the barrel.
Well, it's in the division, it's between them and the Raiders because I do not believe in Bo Nix at all. Sean Payton, I think he's gonna try to run the football. Your best receiver, I think, even though he wasn't that great, Jerry Jeudy, you got rid of him. So I don't know exactly what they plan to do. Like where
I'm
are
looking at this roster, man?
It's
nasty, dude. This is nasty.
Not in a good way.
Cortland Sutton is like your best option.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot. You know, that's your best option that you guys have. So I mean,
and you know,
Bo Nix is a rookie. Your backup is
they're
going
to want him to start. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So I mean, I mean, at this point, you got no choice. You don't trust in Zach Wilson. Nobody did. Y'all went and got him for nothing. You know, Jared Stidham, he's been around. You know what I mean? So there's nothing there. So I mean, at this point, you're literally throwing Bo Nix into the fire. Hey man, just showcase what you got, and then we're gonna build around that in the next couple of years. So I mean,
well, I'll say this: they drafted my guy Audric Estime out of Notre Dame, and he was a pretty good running back. Obviously, that was college, but I think he had over 1,400 rushing yards last year. Set the Notre Dame single season touchdown record with 18 rushing touchdowns, and I think he was like 5th in the nation in yards after contact. So he can, you know, but
he's 4th on the depth chart.
Is he 4th on the depth chart right now? Is that where he's listed?
Yes.
Okay, I just actually saw a clip from him at practice either yesterday or the day before. And somebody tried to hit him high, and he was like, "Get off me!" and just ran through the drill. But
all right, that may bust him up to 3rd, but right now he's sitting at number 4.
All right, well, we'll see. I mean, I guess it makes sense because he still has to learn the offense. He's a rookie. You have guys that were in the scheme last year that are there already. So I get it. But yeah, I don't even think Denver deserves a whole lot of discussion, to be honest.
I mean, what are we going to discuss other than Pat Surtain? I mean, what else do you guys got over there that's worth me watching the game of football for you?
Exactly. And realistically, it's not that serious. Said it best. There it is.
Nothing.
No.
If you put your hand like this, it's that serious, and you put your other hand like this, it creates a 0. And that's exactly what Sean Payton has done. He got Russell Wilson up out of there. If you want to count that, is that a win for the Broncos?
I don't know if it's a win for the Broncos because they're paying him a lot of money this year to not be there.
Oh, was it 35 million? I think they're paying him.
Nah,
35, 36.
It's a lot.
Oh, is it 47? I thought it was 30.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, other than that, I mean, I got nothing for you for the Broncos, man.
I don't either.
They're gonna scrape to get 4 or 5 wins.
Yeah, let's take a look at their schedule.
Sean Payton's gonna be under fire. So I mean, that's nasty. You're starting off nasty. You're starting off 5, 6, 7, and 0. I mean 0-7.
It could be bad. It could be bad.
I could see 0-7. You got to go to Seattle. Pittsburgh is hungry. Tampa Bay, hungry team. New York Jets got something to prove. Vegas, I mean, they got better weapons, so they can pull that out.
But they don't have a quarterback, and we'll get to them next.
I mean, they got what's his name? Minshew. Gardner Minshew can win that game.
Come on, man, stop. I mean, well, Gardner Minshew's not a bum, but they don't have a quarterback that's gonna do anything.
With Devontae Adams and Bowers? Oh yeah, we'll get over there.
Yeah, let's hold off and wait for the Raiders. Exactly. The Chargers, they're gonna take that L.
Yeah.
The Saints, I don't even know. Toss-up game.
Is Jameis Winston still the quarterback?
No, Jameis Winston is actually the backup in Cleveland now.
That's
Carr's the
right.
quarterback in New
Derek
Orleans.
Carr. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Carolina, they can win. They can beat Carolina.
Yes.
Then after that, they go through another blunder. You got Baltimore, Kansas City. Those are both L's.
Right.
Atlanta, they're trying to resurge. You got Kirk Cousins over there. You got
Right.
what's the running back's name?
BJ
BJ Robinson. BJ Robinson.
Thank you. Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
So you're gonna lose that one. Yeah, this is gonna be tough, man. Cleveland, you still got Los Angeles again. You got Cincinnati.
That's a thought.
Again.
It's not that serious. That's a thought.
It's gonna be about 4 wins. I see him getting about 4 wins, 4-13, and calling it a year, man.
And they paid Sean Payton a lot of money and gave this dude total control. Like I don't know what you're doing, but
he about to be passing the stick soon.
right. For real. Yeah, so I think it's safe to say not much to talk about with the Broncos, so we can leave that right there. The Raiders,
they got my favorite receiver, man.
Devontae.
I love Devontae. Number 17 is what I like to call him.
What good is he without a quality quarterback to consistently get him the football, though?
That's true, but that's why you got Minshew. You got Minshew magic. You don't believe in magic?
No.
You don't
believe in Magic Johnson.
Magic?
I believe in the one that used to wear that hat that you wearing. I believe in that magic.
Hey, I'll respect that. I'll respect that.
Absolutely.
Man. I'll respect that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that not much more I can say about the Raiders other than the name of Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
I wanted Brock Bowers to go to a contender, honestly, or somebody who is at least decent. I mean, the Raiders are going to be gunning for a quarterback next year. We already know that. So I think, you know what I mean, putting him in a position to where he's going to get somebody young enough to come up with him is going to be huge for him. I see them trading Devontae Adams by mid-season to end of the year. Honestly, Devontae Adams is not going to be happy this year. He's not.
No,
you know
he's not.
AD McConnell or Gardner Minshew throwing on the ball. He's not going to be too excited about any of that.
I think with that 2 tight end thing, they're trying to mimic what New England had a lot of success with when they had Aaron Hernandez and Gronk. Meanwhile, they have Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers, which could be Brock Bowers not physically resembles, but in his style of play resembles Aaron Hernandez. And they actually call Michael Mayer Baby Gronk. Like he resembles him in terms of his style of play. If there's a quarterback that can get these guys the football. So at the end of the day, that's what it keeps getting down to. And they traded away Josh Jacobs. So it's like, okay, how are you going to run the football now? I don't know what they're going to do.
No idea. Because if you can't run, you can't get a Devontae because all they're going to do is just drop the safeties back. So it's like, you know, what am I going to do with that? So it's going to be tough for them too, man. I mean, defensively, you know what, they still got Max Crosby. Didn't they just pay him?
Yep.
They just paid him. You got Nate Hobbs back there as your cornerback. I mean, I got nothing to really write home about. Christian Wilkins out of Miami.
I was about to say Christian Wilkins.
Christian Wilkins. That's a big D tackle right there. So your line is going to be straight.
D tackle and you got an edge rusher, so that's not bad. But outside of that, not a whole lot. Yeah. I'm looking at who they drafted. They didn't even draft a running back here. So it's like, I think that they wanted to draft Penix, but Atlanta moved up and snatched him before they could do that.
Now, Penix, Adams, Brock Bowers.
That would have been Michael Mayer. Yeah, that would have been good. They could have done something there.
Man, that would have been a nice team.
It would have been a nice start. But yeah, I think it's over for the
I meant like for the future. My bad. I should have finished what I said. For the future. It'd have been a nice team for the future. You still would have been likely trading Devontae Adams because he is getting old. I want to say Devontae Adams is like 32 or coming up on 32. So, I mean, at that point, you know, he's not really going to grow with Penix, you know, but Brock Bowers, I mean, you can go ahead and trade Devontae Adams for a couple of picks, maybe a light receiver, or you could put him in a package to go get what's his name out of San Francisco? Ayuk. You can get Ayuk. I mean, he's young enough, 25 years old. So, I mean, you got another young
if you
receiver.
Bring him in, you got to be prepared to pay him because he wants his money.
Well, who else you paying? I mean, honestly, who else you paying? So you would have had enough money to float around to give, BA. Now you got, a great young receiving core. You got a young quarterback. So that would have been the vision that they probably had. But yeah, Atlanta probably screwed over their whole draft.
Yep. I think they did. So I guess we'll take a quick look at the schedule, but we know that the Ravens are going to be bad. Period. So not even that serious. But let's take a look. How do I kept cutting off that week 18? I apologize for that. All right. So open up. Loss. Maybe a win. That's a
You can
total
get a
toss
dub.
up.
You can get a dub. Bryce Young ain't ready yet.
No. They're gonna lose to Cleveland. Denver. Toss
They're
up.
at Denver, so that could be a toss up. They can lose that one
Yeah.
possibly. If they lose one, then they'll win the other.
Right. Loss versus Pittsburgh. Loss at Rams. Loss versus. Well, no. So we didn't expect them to beat Kansas City last year. They pulled that off. But then again, Kansas City is going to remember that. So we might have a problem there. Cincinnati loss. Miami loss. Right.
Then if they lose one in Denver, they're gonna beat them in Denver. But if it's vice versa the other way, so we'll scratch that. We'll call that an even Steven toss up.
Yeah, Kansas City again. Divisional matchup. So I mean,
and
possibly
Arrowhead.
they steal one. Oh yeah, probably not at Arrowhead.
Yeah, not in Arrowhead. No.
Tampa Bay loss. Atlanta loss. Jacksonville, iffy. I don't know.
Is that at home? Oh, that's at home too.
No. That's in Vegas.
Jacksonville got to search for the identity again this
year.
I
don't know what to do with them. But I don't know. They're not going to be very good.
So what you see? You see about 6-7 wins?
Yeah, I'm thinking that. No more than that. And it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough.
Nah, it's definitely going to be a weak division.
Yep.
I mean, other than the champs, I mean, Pat about to walk back to the playoffs backwards.
Yeah, he is.
He's about to walk backwards to the playoffs. So
right,
he ain't even worried about that. So I mean, my over under in betting on Kansas City games this year is going to be slim to none because they're not going to care. They're just trying to make it to the playoffs.
Right, no doubt. Yeah. All right, so as you mentioned, Kansas City and the champions, back-to-back defending champions, and looking to become the first team ever in NFL history to three-peat. I think that's highly unlikely. I don't know how long you can avoid injuries, and the AFC is just too tough, man. Too many really, really good quarterbacks in that conference. So,
but are they going to be healthy when they get there? Is the question, because they got some talent, but the health is the problem. Lamar Jackson just lost 30 pounds. Is he going to hold up? Is that?
I think he is going to hold up.
Going to hold up?
Yeah, I would say so because what's his name? Derrick Henry is going to get the bulk of the attention. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
So I would say he'd hold up.
So now Joe Burrow, is he going to hold up?
That's the one. That's the one I'm concerned about. Joe Burrow. I really don't know.
See, I mean, they got a shot, man. I'm not gonna lie. They do have a shot. I mean, anything is possible, like your boy KG said after he beat my Lakers. I say that. I'm a man to admit when I'm defeated. But
I mean,
anything is possible.
It's not a problem. 2 years later, you all came back and took it back from us. So it's a non-issue. You know what I'm saying?
It's even Steven.
It's all good. Yeah.
I look at this roster, man, and I see a possibility, man. I mean, when you got the greatest quarterback in the game on your side, he's young. They're moving a cap around in ways that you like, okay, where's Kansas City getting the money to pay anybody? They're moving, they're flexing around that cap so well. They drafted pretty well. They went and got extra weapons for them to open up the deep game again. Pause.
Right.
I mean, you pay Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, what can you do wrong? I mean, it's going to take an injury for them to like not be good. Like,
it was good
to not be in that Super Bowl contention again. You know what I mean? If anybody will beat them, it's going to come out of your division. If anybody's going to be able to beat them.
Yeah, no, it's because as we know, Joe Burrow, he plays Mahomes really well. Baltimore is going to have a chip on their shoulder. So if they get another opportunity at him, especially if it's another home game for Baltimore in the playoffs, who knows? Josh Allen, he desperately wants to beat Mahomes. So, I mean, they got the target on him. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
Appreciate you, Steve. Thank you for stopping in, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, so it's going to be a huge target on their backs. So I think there's a reason why no team has been able to three-peat in NFL history, and
Yeah.
I don't anticipate. I guess if you want to give anybody a shot, it would be Mahomes. You don't want to bet against him, but I don't anticipate it happening.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I mean, I can't help but just, in a sense, blush, man. Pause. But I mean, you looking
No,
at
no,
this
I get
rock,
it.
and you're like, the weapons that this man has at his disposal. We were just complaining last year about how he didn't have weapons. Folks was dropping the ball. Kadarius Toney couldn't catch a cold in the winter, and
Mm-hmm.
made it to the Super Bowl and won it. You know what I mean? So
Right,
like they
right.
had the most drops in the league by a long shot. Won
Mm-hmm.
the Super Bowl. So now you go and give him more, like you make him better as far as a roster standpoint. You're like, yeah, what do you do as a team? I mean, this losing Snead, that's going to be a big blow.
Mm-hmm.
I think to your secondary, but what is Spagnolia back there
Steve
coaching?
Spagnuolo, man,
Yeah,
that
Steve
dude is.
Spagnuolo. He can
I
make
think
magic out of
I
defense,
think he's
man.
right there with Belichick as arguably the best big game defensive coach in history. He's that good, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
he's
he knows how
that
to put
good.
these guys together. I mean,
Yeah,
Tranquil
yeah,
at the
yeah.
linebacker. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You got, I
Tranquil,
mean,
go Irish. Just want to
McDuff.
throw
Oh
that
yeah,
in there.
McDuffie. He's going with his second season. This is the second season.
Yes.
Yeah, he was good last year. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, come on,
Yeah.
man. I mean,
And so to it's not that serious point, KC found someone that take the top off the defense. That's Xavier Worthy. If I'm not
yeah,
mistaken, Xavier Worthy just set the combine record for fastest
yeah,
fastest
4-2-1.
4.21, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, 4-2-1.
So, I mean, they got that somebody. So, yeah.
And you got, I mean, you got, I mean, even your backups, you got McCole Hardman coming off as your
Mm-hmm.
fourth receiver.
That's another speed freak.
You
Yeah.
still got Sky Moore. You still got, Justin Ross. I mean, Kadarius Toney.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pacheco. I mean, that boy was he was running like he was trying to eat kids or something. I mean, the boy was a monster, man. And you still got Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Right.
I mean, and your backups, Carson Wentz. I forgot about that. That flew under the radar for pickups this offseason. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
they got the champs got better, man. In my opinion.
Yeah, well, I think they did improve. Let's take a quick look at their schedule before we open up to the callers and see if we got anybody on that. Matter of fact,
I
let
mean,
me
you
take
can
this comment
before we
down.
go. I mean, we can look at their schedule, but Kansas City's not going to play some of these games seriously. Because I mean, look at the division.
Mm-hmm.
The division is bottomless. I mean,
Well, I would play these games seriously if I'm Kansas City because I'm looking at. I don't want to have to go on the road and go through that again to get to the Super Bowl. I want these games at Arrowhead.
I can see it. I mean, yeah. I mean, but they showed they didn't have to be at Arrowhead last year.
No, I get it, but wouldn't you rather be at home if you can?
Absolutely.
It's not that you have to be. Clearly, they showed that. And side note, last year, if you were going to get him, last year was the time to do it. So that makes it even scarier. Like, are you kidding me? Like, Buffalo had a chance to do it. Baltimore had a chance to do it. Like, come on, man. So, yeah.
How
But,
we starting off? What's week one verdict going to be?
come on, man. You know what that is, man. and real talk. No, I'm not just saying that, to say it.
I do got Baltimore winning, though.
Yeah, I think they
Baltimore
will. And I'm not even saying that's going to be indicative of anything down the road. I just think that they'll win that game. I think they've got that AFC Championship stink on them from last season, and they're going to want to come out and try to send a message early.
And for me personally, I look at who the next opponent is. I think the odds are going to already be set on just trying to shut them up again. Because I mean, the way what did Jamar Chase say? He didn't mention Patrick Mahomes' name. So Patrick Mahomes already got him on the radar. So he's like, okay, you want to do that? You want to do that this year? You know what, guys? Let's not really focus on Baltimore. Let's go ahead and wait about 10 more days. I want to bust Kansas, Cincinnati right in the face. I just want them to come to Arrowhead and we just light it up. You know what I mean? So I could see them looking at the next game in a sense. And then, after that, I mean, they got Atlanta, you got Los Angeles, New Orleans. I mean, they have a favorable schedule up until you get to San Francisco. That's going to be a very, very must-see game. But that's after a bye week, man. I mean, after a bye week, get 2 weeks off, and you come in.
Andy Reid is one of the best coaches in the game off a bye.
And you going in San Francisco, beautiful weather coming into October.
Oof. Yeah.
That's gonna be TV.
That's gonna be a great one. They're at Buffalo. That's going to be another one.
That's gonna be a good one.
Josh Allen, he's going to be trying to prove some at Cleveland against that elite defense.
At Pittsburgh,
yeah, man, they got some rough ones.
They got some rough. This road game is gonna be rough for them. It's gonna be rough for them.
I agree.
But I mean, they're gonna win like 11, 12 games. I say minimum.
Yeah,
then I think like towards the end of the season, as they start seeing the playoff picture, they'll then move in that direction. You know what I mean? So
right.
The champs said, I mean, the job is to dethrone the champs, man.
Right. I saw a comment from Steve, and Steve says, I have to think KC is absolutely
You hungry?
favorite. Nah, man, I'm good.
About to cut a promo.
Nah, they ain't paying me. I need a sponsorship before I do that. No, but I have to think KC is absolutely the favorite in their division, but Harbaugh in LA with a talented Herbert could be a factor. So, Steve, I don't believe in Herbert. I'm going to tell you that. I actually covered Herbert's lone playoff game, the loss here in Jacksonville. Was that 2 years ago? I covered that for the Florida Star newspaper. Shout out Florida Star. And watching Herbert not being able to get it done after at one point having a 28-0 first half lead. Nah, there's no excuse for that. If you're what they say you are, you should have been able to pull that game out. That was absurd that you couldn't get anything in the second half. I think they got a field goal. There's no excuse for that whatsoever. Yeah. So, I don't believe in Herbert. I never did. I never saw the hype. Yeah, he's a big kid, big arm, and he's mobile, but great. Where are the wins? Yes, he's had bad coaching, but he's had weapons and he's had solid players on defense. Where are the wins? I keep getting back to it. Where are the wins? And now already he's got plantar fascia in his foot, in his plant foot. So we have to worry about, is that going to be something? No, it's not good. Is that going to be something that may affect him all season long? Now, again, Jim Harbaugh is masterful at protecting his quarterbacks with a sound running game and great defense, but still, you need your guy healthy. So I don't believe in Herbert. I just don't.
Nah, he definitely got to prove it, man. He definitely got to prove it.
He does.
And the way Harbaugh, H&H. The way he's about to come in and ticker around with that offense, you know what I mean? It's I'm not gonna say necessarily it's gonna be in Herbert's favor right away, but Harbaugh wants to get the ground game going. He wants to get the ground game going, but then again, who are you throwing to? So
absolutely, Steve. Harbaugh is that guy. Jim, that is. He's not quite as good as John. Now that might be some Ravens bias in me, but no, Harbaugh is an outstanding coach, no question about it. All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and we're gonna open up the phone lines here. 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Give us a call. Tell us what you think about the AFC West, kind of where you are on who you think is going to take it, or any other relevant storylines or points you want to make regarding that division. 904-219-8264. Let's get it.
Man, so excited to be talking about football.
Oh, it is great, isn't it? Man,
exciting, man.
There's nothing like football season. Like, it's so funny when I was younger, like high school and all that. I was so in love with basketball, college basketball, NBA, and all that. And football came second for me, right? College and pro. Yeah. But as I got older and I saw what was happening to the NBA, I was like, nah, man, football. And they swapped places for me. So now it's NFL, it's college football, and then it's the NBA and college basketball. I don't even know where that is because men's college basketball, unfortunately, has fallen off so badly outside of the NCAA tournament. So it's tough, man. But yeah, it is fantastic to be talking football again. Whether it's pro,
I'll tell you what, man, we may have to move week 1 to like 5 o'clock. It's like we're gonna be talking for about 4 or 5 hours, man.
Right?
We're gonna be getting so much out.
Yeah. We're
discussing.
It's gonna be a ton of content. You're right. Definitely. Yeah, we'll work that out. Yeah, I never asked you. You a college football fan, bro?
College football?
Yeah.
The Badgers were my team until they started messing up with my old coach. But other than that, I mean, I root for the Noles out here, man. I've been in Florida long enough.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I do remember
a lot of my
that.
friends went to Florida State, so I actually wanted to go to Florida State. That was my college
Okay.
of choice when I got out of the military, active duty. I mean, I wanted to enroll in Florida State, but I diverted and went, did personal training. Then, of course, real estate is, where we met, and things like that. But yeah, Florida State I root for the most because I have more joy in rooting for Florida State.
That's fair.
My badges, man, ever since Melvin Gordon, we kind of been
bro.
falling off, man. It's been
him,
we had
him
JT,
and Jonathan Taylor. That's my man. Yeah.
JT.
Jonathan Taylor's
them boys can tote the rock.
Tote the rock.
They
facts.
can tote the rock, man.
Facts.
Tote the rock.
Absolutely.
So, other than that, but we could never get a quarterback. Boy, it's like
because it's cold up there and you don't have the wide receivers, right? Every now and then you get a receiver. A lot of what like Notre Dame goes through in terms of having the elite quarterback play and having the elite wide receivers. And when you're such a run heavy offense, the elite wide receivers who freaking what up, my life, your entertainment, those guys who normally come from the South or come from out west where it's warm, they're not going up to Wisconsin.
It's cold, man.
Yeah, it's cold. The offense is
if I ain't getting the ball.
Right, exactly. I'm not trying to be out here be some blocker,
or getting cardio up. Like,
right.
Just running routes for no reason.
So I get it. All right, so let's go ahead. Looks like we're not gonna get any calls on this topic, so let's go ahead and move it to the next one. NFC West preview.
It was a very bad division, guys. I mean, we're gonna talk about it because we're gonna talk about every division. But guys, other than Kansas City, what are you talking about coming out of the AFC West?
AFC West is not special. I did hear that Deuce Knight visited Auburn. But look, man, you can't be mad at the young fella because I mean, if he's gotta make what could be the all right, it's not that serious. Go Irish, bro. No, but Steve, you can't be mad at the young fella. He's got to make the decision that's going to be best for him going forward. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he just went to go see it and maybe, get taken around for that campus tour by, I'm sure, the beautiful young ladies that were ready to show him around. So it is what it is. But yeah, let's get to this NFC West preview. Where you want to start in the NFC West, bro?
Let's see. Let's kick it off with, I would say, we talked San Fran a lot already. I would say let's start off with Arizona. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Arizona. So big move. Well, Kyler Murray is healthy, right?
Yeah.
He's a full year back off the torn ACL. And in fairness, he was pretty dynamic when he was healthy early on in his career. Was this year 4 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's got a lot of ability, and obviously they got him what looks to be a supreme weapon in Marvin Harrison Jr. Quick side note on that. I don't want to divert the conversation too much, but unpopular opinion, I thought Rome Odunze was the best wide receiver coming out.
I think you couldn't go either way. You could go either way with them guys, man.
Okay.
I was having that debate, man.
Okay.
And I was I'm watching the tape. I mean, from route running to the red zone. I'm like, I mean, it's like you got an apple and you got an orange. Which one do you like more?
And I think as good as Marvin Harrison Jr. is, he also benefits from the name, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not saying that he's not great because I do think he's special, but he benefits from the name, Hall of Fame. What's up, last name? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I saw you on Man Down Sports last night. Good to see you. But yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. he's legit, and getting Kyler Murray a weapon like that.
Yeah.
He may end up being the best receiver in Arizona since Larry Fitzgerald. So not mad at that at all.
Without a doubt. I mean, because they only have Marquise Brown in the mints since then.
Yeah, and he's gone now too.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, City. Yeah, I was about to say, he's in Kansas City. So man, they got Mahomes some speed out there. He gonna be letting it
that's
loose.
What I'm saying. What else are we talking about in the AFC West, man?
Yep, Malik Neighbors is tough, guys. Yeah, definitely. My life
at LSU.
Steve, yeah. Malik Neighbors is tough, but I had Rome Odunze as wide receiver 1, and again, I'm no scout, but just watching what that dude did, and now I'm sure a part of it was Ben Grubb's offense and what's my man's name, Michael Penix Jr. and those other weapons they had, Jalen Polk, Jalen McMillan, and so it made it real hard to key in on any one guy and slow him down. But I thought He was just as productive. I love him at the point of attack. At the catch point, he's got big catch radius. He's a big guy and he's not slow. Anyway, this wasn't a Marvin Harrison Jr. versus Rome Odunze conversation, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to him and Kyler Murray. I think that's a real serious one.
That's going to be dynamic. That's going to be dynamic.
Oh, AJ Jenkins, great point. Anquan Bolden was in Arizona because I had said that Marvin Harrison Jr. may be the best wide receiver in Arizona since Larry Fitzgerald. But yes, Anquan Bolden.
Well, Bolden was during the Fitzgerald era.
Yeah, he was, and Matt. Actually, Fitzgerald might have outlasted him, right?
Yeah, I want to say Fitzgerald was still there. Anquan Bolden went to Baltimore and retired.
Yeah. He was with Baltimore first, then he went to Arizona.
Oh
after.
Yeah, I got it back.
Yeah, he won the Super Bowl with Baltimore.
Yeah, you had to throw that in there. Yeah, that's a good
he was their number one receiver during that playoff run. But anyway, I do think that Arizona, their offense is going to be good this year. I guess it's going to be a function of seeing what the defense does. I like the 3rd round pick, Trey Benson. Out of Florida State, very good running back, strong, fast. He can catch it out of the backfield. Absolutely. I like that move a lot.
He definitely lives in the trenches if you need him.
Yeah,
in the trenches. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And he can catch it out of the backfield too, which is what they want all these running backs to do now. There's no more pure, toted 30 time a game guys. They don't want to do that anymore. So, should be interesting. Let's take a look at their schedule. See how it plays out for them.
That's a fun schedule.
That's what it is. It's the banner. Okay, so I have been having week 18. Okay, so
that's a fun schedule.
Woo, that's tough out there. Ooh, man,
that's a fun schedule, man. Boy.
That first, damn, the first 8 weeks, that's rough, man.
Yeah, I mean, they don't get a break until maybe Chicago. Then you go straight to New York, Seattle.
Because I think they're going to lose against Buffalo. They're going to lose against the Rams. They're going to lose against the Lions. Yeah. They might beat Washington. They're going to lose against the Niners. They're going to lose against the Packers. They're going to lose against the Chargers. They're going to lose against Miami. Wow.
It can get ugly. Tough. It can get ugly early.
Yeah, and if it gets ugly earlier, they'll be fighting for scraps to try and even make the playoffs. Ooh, that's a rough way to start.
And then and now you're looking at this schedule, right? Like these are teams that have solid defenses. Now you're worried about if Kyler Murray is going to be able to survive this. This gauntlet,
that's funny because look what My Life Your Entertainment says.
Wow, with that schedule, it might not make it the whole season.
Right,
that's the first day. My Life Your Entertainment. That was my exact thought. I'm like, I mean, he might not survive. By the time he gets to Green Bay, he's gonna be on one.
Yeah, it's not that serious. We did hear about Geno Smith, and we're gonna get to that. As we go here, yeah.
They said he might not miss time though.
Let me see what they. All right, we'll get to it.
We'll get that. We still got to get to Seattle.
Yeah. So, man, that is a brutal first half of the season. So then they get that bye after the Jets, which they could also lose if Aaron Rodgers is still healthy. Yeah. And so in that Jets game, think about this, right? Sauce Gardner versus Marvin Harrison Jr. Woo! Right? That's a mean matchup right there. I like that.
I mean, Kyler Murray versus the Jets defensive line. I mean,
they will feast on that young fella.
They are going out the trench.
They're gonna eat him alive. It's a good thing he's mobile.
Oh my God! I mean, it's not gonna be mobile enough.
Yeah,
them boys is quick. Them linebackers is fast over there, man.
I forgot about that. DeAndre Hopkins did get hurt. Holy cow! He's getting old now. Good call, last name. Appreciate that. Man, that's serious. So the second half, Seattle, Minnesota, they might could beat Minnesota. Minnesota has no idea what their quarterback situation is, and they might not by then either. Seattle, New England, they might could beat New England. I'm not sure what New England's going to be. Right. Then they got the Rams again and end with the Niners. That is.
You end with two of the stronger defenses in your division.
That's tough sledding. That's real tough sledding. Oh my goodness.
Hey man, we're gonna go ahead and send our love and
for
Kyler Murray's legs. Because they gonna be, he got them little short stubbies that just be. Hey, look, they're gonna be gunning for that kid, man.
Yeah.
If he makes it out of the first 8 weeks with no injury,
right,
I'll be shocked.
It's a good thing he's mobile.
Shocked, man.
I think the key is, I don't know who their OC is now, but you have to move the pocket. You're gonna have to. You can't let him stand back there and get teed off on. You got to use boots and waggles. You got to use RPOs. You have to. You have to. So, man.
2 running back set maybe get you out of that. Somebody got to block. Somebody gonna have to block.
Yeah, it's that's a bad look. Okay, so the Cardinals are in trouble. We understand that now. Man,
hey, I actually had a higher hope for them this year.
I did too until we looked at that schedule just now.
Yeah, that schedule just threw me way off.
Facts.
They can honestly go 1-8 in the first 9 weeks, but
yeah,
we'll definitely see, man. We'll definitely see.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the Rams now.
Yep.
Los Angeles Rams. I think got to look at the schedule. This could be a pretty decent team. Let's see what they drafted. I like. Obviously, we know they got receivers.
They got the running back out of Michigan.
They drafted Blake Corum, yes, but they also have Kyron Williams out of where? Go ahead, tell me where Kyron went to school. Tell me. Say it. That's right. Go Irish. No, but he was really good last year, coming off injury.
He was the beast, man.
Yeah,
he was
got
a beast.
A real good
that kid was running
there. You got a very good 1-2 punch there between Blake Corum and Kyron Siren. I think that, man, Michigan and Notre Dame together, huh? Isn't that something? What the pros do? Yep, there you go, Kyron Williams, Steve. You got it. Go Irish. So yeah, should be interesting. Let's see. So they lost Aaron Donald, which is going to be huge, but
that's going to be major.
But they got your guy, Jared Verse, one of the best pass rushers in the draft out of Florida State. They grabbed him. They also grabbed Florida State defensive tackle Braden Fisk. So that's another one. So we can't expect either one to be Aaron Donald, of course, but you're doing a good job to shore up the defensive line. Yeah,
absolutely.
So if you can kind of get a lot of that production from multiple places, it doesn't have to come from one guy. So I think that's okay. We just talked about Blake Corum, who I think he's not a bell cow back in the NFL, but he is a beast. He gets the tough yards. He's small. He's strong. That's a good pick for what, 3rd round. That was good.
So and you got to think he's sharing with Williams. You know what I mean? You got Boston Scott as your 3rd.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you could definitely mix it up back there with those guys,
so you don't, and, you've got 2 guys who've had knees blown out, so you don't necessarily have to worry about either one of them getting the bulk of the carries. You could spread that out.
Precisely.
Yeah, My Life, Your Entertainment. So I don't know if the defense is going to be terrible, but yes, Aaron Donald retiring is certainly, anytime you lose a player of that caliber, is going to hurt you. But I don't know if the defense is going to be terrible. So we'll see. But we also know that, Rams, Sean McVay, we know he's an outstanding coach. So let's give him,
absolutely.
Let's give him his due, and we know that he's going to be able to figure out.
And the thing is, Matt Stafford finna be slinging the Cooper Cup and Puka. So
Puka and Cooper
Cup,
you
gotta outscore him. You know what I mean? So
that's right. That's right. Yeah,
I do. I can see them having the offense out. Just a lot longer. What you got when you adding Blake to add more running games to the aspect, to stay on the field a lot longer, to just keep their defense out there a whole lot longer. So give your defense that amount of rest that they're going to need. Because like you said, like My Life, Your Entertainment, there's no Aaron Donald, man. That's
no, there isn't.
There's no Aaron Donald. But like I said, you got pieces there to at least be decent enough to be like, okay, if when it's our turn to come out there, we could do something. We may not be top 10 defense or top 5, but you make us top 15, and we can scratch. I think it could be a top 15 defense.
Right. Yeah. Who's in those guys, linebacker and defensive back group? I don't know. If I'm honest, I don't know.
Ernest Jones, man, I like him, man. That's my guy.
Well, I think so. You're not going to be able to. Yeah, Jared Verse. We just talked about him. I don't think you're going to be able to be the dominant defense up front that you have been with Aaron Donald in the past. However, if you can be a bend but don't break defense, and you have the offensive weapons to put more on the offensive plate, I think it'll be okay. I think that the Rams are clearly the 2nd best team in the division. I think that's fair, right?
I would agree, especially with Geno hurt. So
Yeah.
You got that coming into play. You got Arizona with the blizzard of a hailstorm that's about to come at them in the first 9 weeks.
Right.
So
That'll take care of that.
That's gonna take care of that. So I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
Rams being second best in the division, that's not a long shot.
That's not a terrible thing, and depending on how the rest of the conference plays out, they could make the playoffs with that. So
yeah.
So you mentioned Geno Smith. Let's go straight to Seattle. Let's go.
No, we go over the schedule.
Oh, my bad. You are correct. Thank you, sir. Rams schedule. Thank you for that.
Now we got to see if we can back it up.
I know, right? Let's turn off the banner real quick.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's tough. So Detroit, that's a good game, but I think Detroit is really good.
You're in Detroit, man. You're in Detroit.
Yeah. Arizona, I think they win that game. I think they lose to the Niners.
Yeah.
I think they beat the Bears. They lose to Green Bay.
Where are we at though? No, that's at home.
You're in LA, right? But you giving Jordan Love and those young receivers on that field at SoFi, on that track field, man, listen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's dangerous,
like
bro. Yeah. And again, remember what's my biggest thing with Green Bay is my man Josh Jacobs. I think that's huge.
We do got
and remember
the run
we just talked about Aaron Donald being gone now. Maybe they're not able to stop the run. Maybe you can run right at the middle of that defense now. You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna be a problem. You're right. You're absolutely
so
right.
I definitely think that Green Bay gets that win. I mean, maybe it's not a blowout, but I think I'm very confident in Green Bay this year. I'm bullish on them. I think they're definitely second in the division.
They will be 2-3 at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, 2-3. They go to a bye.
Then they beat Vegas. They beat Minnesota, so they're doing okay.
They beat Seattle.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we don't know what Geno is going to be. So I mean,
right.
I'm thinking that he's going to be all right at this point. But at this point, Matthew Stafford and them guys, they're starting to try to pick it up at this point. So I mean,
right.
And they just came off with this a 2-week delay. No, that's 10 days because they got a Thursday night game against Minnesota. So they got a good 10 days off. So
so here's a big one. Miami. So that's another team that got a track squad for a receiving core, and you got them in SoFi, perfect weather, and providing Tua is still healthy at that point. And we're not confident as my life just said, we're not confident in their secondary and their linebackers. I think they lose that game to Miami.
Yeah, they can get torched out there. Jalen Waddle.
That's right. As we have seen, Miami is capable of putting up big points.
Absolutely. In a hurry.
Yes.
They'll be 28-3 before you know it.
They put 70 on somebody They put 70 on Denver last year. So we know that they're capable of doing that.
Sidetrack, that alone should get you fired, but we're not going to go there.
Yeah,
let's
continue. Good point. They'll beat New England, even if it's I tell you what. No, let's look at this.
At New England?
I was about to say at New England in mid-November. That suddenly changes things.
It's getting cold now.
Yeah, that's right. And you're a dome team from Southern Cal. So I just, you know what? I'm going to chalk that up to coaching and superior quarterback play. I'm going to give the Rams.
There's no Bill Belichick no more, so you gotta.
That's what I'm saying. The coaching is Sean McVay. Yeah.
He's going to have to pull that one through.
Philadelphia. I think they lose to Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia is bouncing back this year. Hill is not the best player in the league. Why don't the players respect Mahomes? Yeah, last name, that was weird. I don't know what the deal was with that. Did you see that?
He got number one in the top.
Yeah. Matter of fact, they had Mahomes like fourth. They had Lamar Jackson ahead of Mahomes, which is like really weird, but whatever.
Because of the MVP, maybe. I mean, but he won a Super Bowl.
Listen, I love Lamar. He's my quarterback, but like nobody can fairly tell you that he's better than Mahomes. You just can't. But
honestly, man, the voting, I'm not sure what we be voting for anymore. I mean,
that's these players, man.
It's the NBA. I mean, not NBA. MVP voting don't match what Madden is putting out. Madden ain't matching. The top 100. The top 100 ain't like none of it matches. So like, I don't know.
No,
I mean, but I'm not. Am I mad at Hill being number one? Nah. I mean, the league is like looking at him like, because it's a player's vote, right?
Yeah.
They're probably like, dude, when we got to play him, man,
I
man,
guess,
put your
but
track shoes on, like that kid alone is dynamic, and they're probably tired of seeing quarterbacks always up there. So
I don't see
it
it.
could be a little mix of everything, but
no doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, where were we? Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia is going to be sneaky good. I think Philly beats them. They beat New Orleans. I think Buffalo. That's tough.
And they're in SoFi.
Yeah, I'll go with the home team on that one.
Yeah.
Because
who is Josh Allen throwing to right now?
That's the thing. Keon Coleman.
Oh, he did get my boy out of Florida State. That's right. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Keon. If you're watching this, man, my apologies.
Who's taking the attention off Keon Coleman?
No,
right. So now you can roll a lot of coverage over on him. So that's going to be tough.
The next two going to be rough. I mean, San Fran, New York. That's going to be rough on them. They can finish off with 2 wins, but that's a possible 3 L's right there. I mean, if you mess around against Buffalo and they beat you in SoFi, you're losing against San Fran, you're losing against New York.
18 games, so maybe they're what? 10-8?
Let's see what we counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possible 7, 8, 9, 10. 10.
Okay, so there we go. 10-8.
Yeah, about 10-8. Yeah.
Okay.
10-7.
So that's
10-7.
10-7. Yeah. So that's going to be a function now of how the rest of the season plays out in terms of everybody else in the conference. Okay.
Yeah, because at this point, Kyler Murray may be depleted all to hell by the time he gets to the end of the season.
Right.
So, and like I said, we got to see what's going on with Geno. So I mean, that's still a huge question because it's his knee, right?
Matter of fact, let's see.
Come on, chat. What are y'all doing, chat?
We didn't get to the Seahawks yet. I had it up here. I was just waiting for us to get to it. He hurt his knee and hip.
That's not good for a quarterback.
Yeah. Seahawks coach Mike McDonald said Saturday Geno Smith has more testing to undergo, but he expects that the quarterback to return to practice within the next few days.
Okay, so it might not be that serious. I mean,
so you're worried about your backup situation. He hurt his knee and his hip. He's 32, and you're rushing him back to an early preseason practice. I don't like that. I don't like that.
What is it with the knee and the hip, though? Do they explain that?
Just that's knee and hip. No. But I mean, it's knee and hip. Like, why am I doing that?
You need both.
Right.
You got to turn your hips to throw. You need your knee to move around. I mean, we talking about coming back to practice already?
He also suffered a bruise on his triceps or back of the elbow during the game. Jeez. Okay, he got a lot of stuff going on. Well, we'll see.
Already starting off the year, bad knee, bad hip, bad tricep.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not going to be a good look for them.
No, not at all. What we got here? Devin Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen alone is better than the Rams secondary. That's true. I think Seattle will finish number 2 in the NFC West, even if Sam Howell has to step in and play QB. Man. Sam Howell can put up a lot of numbers. He could throw the ball all over the place, but I think he throws a lot of
that's the kid out of Washington, wasn't it?
Yeah, he came from Washington. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he played college at North Carolina.
Yeah, I meant like the NFL team.
Yeah. He came from the Commanders. Yep. Okay. So
are we looking at the roster? I'm sorry, I didn't move my screen.
Yeah, let's look at the let's take a look at the roster for the Seahawks, and then we'll look at the schedule.
All right. Okay. I mean, Kenneth Walker, didn't he have a big injury last year?
Yeah, he was hurt, but he came back strong. He's good. He's one of the better young running backs. He's good.
Because that kid is legit. That kid is legit at running back. Yep. We already know what DK Metcalf is. Tyler Lockett, I mean, he's one hell of a deep threat. You know what I mean? Yep. You got a Badger sitting right here at your other receiver. Noah Fant at tight end. I mean, your offense.
Okay.
I
forgot
good.
Noah Fant came in that Russell Wilson trade from Denver.
Yeah.
Okay.
So offensively, they're pretty solid. They're pretty solid at on offense, and I believe they had one of the best corners in the league last year, didn't they?
Yeah, Tariq
What's his
Woolen.
name?
Weatherspoon and Woolen are very good
Yeah.
in the secondary. Yep. Quick side note: Seattle is another team I would have expected to try to jump up and make a move in the draft for Michael Penix Jr. because their OC Ben Grubb was his OC at Washington. So I would have thought that they would have made a move for him because he knows the system and he's good in the area. You know what I'm saying, in terms of the weather and all that stuff.
Yeah. What pick did they have in the draft?
I think they picked top 10, right?
Seattle?
I'm gonna tell you in a
playoff
second.
Team, right?
No, number 16. Number 16
Okay.
was their first round pick, and they got Byron Murphy out of Texas, which was a good move.
So they could. Penix went what, 9?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely could.
I would have thought they would try to trade up to get him, though. I would have.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm biased. I'm a big Penix guy, so that's what it is. Okay, let's look at the Seahawks schedule. Obviously, they have the rest of the division. So Denver, they open with a win. New England, I think they'll win that.
Yeah.
That Miami game might be a tough one.
Now
we're
really gonna put them corners to the test in Miami, though.
I was just about to say that's right.
Corners gonna get put to the test.
Jalen Waddle and
Tyreek Hill. I mean, but quite frankly, nobody's really covering him. I mean, you're praying.
My life, good call, JSN. We forgot they got JSN on that wide receiving core.
You didn't hear me say that?
No, I didn't hear you say it. My bad. No, I
that's my kid, man.
Yeah, JSN is real. He is very legit. All right, where were we? Detroit. I think they lose that game, but it'll be close. They will beat the Giants.
Yeah, they are in Detroit, so
they'll beat the Giants. Lose to the Niners. I think they can beat the
3
Falcons.
3? So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Okay.
I think they beat the Falcons.
Yeah.
I think they'll lose to Buffalo.
Lose to Buffalo.
What did we say about this Rams game? Damn, what did we say?
We said they're going to be. Well, this is going to be in Seattle, right?
Yes.
So in Seattle, November, we said they're going to win this game. The Cold.
Yes.
I think we said we're going to win this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. At San Francisco, that's going to be a tough one.
At San Fran, November 17.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose to San Francisco both times.
Coming off a bye week too.
Yeah. You don't give a really good offensive coach all that time to draw up a game plan on you. Arizona, they're going to be dumb.
Arizona. The Jets, that's going to be a fun game. I like that game.
December 1st.
I like that game.
Cold.
I like that game.
New York. Yeah.
Because Aaron Rodgers got some pent up animosity against Seattle.
Yeah, everything with the Jets is going to depend on. That's true. It's going to depend on if Aaron Rodgers is still healthy by this time.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a fairly healthy quarterback. I mean, the last year was more of an anomaly with the Achilles.
That's what I was about to say. He's 40 coming off an Achilles. That's the problem.
If they can protect, it's tough. That's tough. Because he turns 41 this year. I think he turns 41 mid-season, I want to say.
There you go. Yeah, he's old, you know?
Yeah, that's tough. I do like that game. That's going to be a tough. But they're at the Jets. I think at this point, the Jets are – we're going to figure out who the Jets are at this point, and they're going to be gunning for a top seed. I think they're going to be gunning.
Top seed, yeah. I guess we'll figure that out when we get to the AFC East. So what do we think about the Jets?
I think they can lose it.
Up on that.
I think they can lose it.
You think the Jets can beat them?
I think the Jets can beat them.
Okay.
I think the Jets can beat them. So I'm gonna count that as an L. They beat Arizona.
Okay. Yes, they beat Arizona. I think they lose to Green Bay.
Yeah.
They
beat Minnesota.
Yep.
They beat Chicago. I don't know who the last, and then they got Los Angeles again.
Ooh. Man. Yeah, I think they lose to the
at
Rams in
SoFi.
this one at
Yeah.
SoFi. Rams on that turf, Puka Nacua and freaking Cooper Kupp and all those guys. Yeah, I think they think
So
they
that's
lose to
9-8.
them
That's
in
not
that
too
one.
bad.
No, it's not. Didn't
That's not too bad.
the Green Bay made the playoffs at 9-8 in the NFC last year?
Absolutely. And we spanked this team called the Dallas Cowgirls, I believe. Something
Sure
like that.
did.
Dallas Cowgirls.
Sure did.
Spanked them.
Okay. All right, cool. And the last team is we've got the 49ers. We know how good they are. We don't need to run down their roster. It's Super Bowl or bust for these guys. And at some point, what's his name?
You got to
Kyle
pay Trent
Shanahan has to, or Ayuk.
Yep, Ayuk. And I think the fullback wants some money now. I want to say the fullback came
Juszczyk
up
wants money
something.
too?
Yes. He
Everybody
made a Pro
wants money.
Bowl. That man's a Pro Bowler. Like, I want some. Everybody wants a little fatty.
Yeah, you're right. And I tell you what,
everybody wants a little fatty, man.
I guess the players in a way are lucky that they didn't win the Super Bowl last year, because if they did, you'd have seen the Niners letting people walk.
Oh, they would have had to.
Yeah,
they would have had to.
They've been like, yeah, you can go.
I'm the reason why. Brandon, I'm the reason why. Oh yeah, you would have heard a
Mm-hmm.
lot of I in that thing.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, okay, so we know the team is loaded. Now we just got to figure out what they're going to do with their money situation, and that's something you can never really speculate on because you don't know what these owners are going to do. But
I do know
if
you better pay Trent Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're paying anybody right now, you're paying your offensive line. That's not a hard thing to say. You pay your offensive line without a shadow of a doubt.
My life. Where is Von Miller now? I didn't even realize I guess he's a salary cap casualty. Where is Von Miller now? Good comment. Yeah, you have to pay him, but now you know what they might be waiting to do? See what Ricky Pearsall, they being San Francisco, see what Ricky Pearsall looks like in camp, and then try to find a willing trade partner for Brandon Ayuk. I think that's why they drafted him, because they knew this was coming.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but you still got, like I said, I like Juwan Jennings too, man. Juwan Jennings is a solid receiver. I think he can definitely take up that. He can
I forgot about that as the domestic violence thing, I believe. Oh, yeah. Von Miller. Okay, and they released him? Wow.
I totally either forgot or wasn't aware of that one.
I believe it was a domestic violence thing. Let's see.
Von Miller. Domestic violence. What?
There you go.
Where was I at?
Yeah, that was last season. Wait a minute.
Von Miller was in Buffalo and he's now
he's back.
Scandal.
No, so 4 days ago, so 4 days ago, Sports Illustrated article says Bills offensive tackle issues warning to NFL. Von Miller is back. Okay, so I guess maybe
there you go.
And maybe he was suspended or whatever. So yeah, it looks like he's still there. Okay. Yeah, Von Miller lighting up training camp in attempt to return to Hall of Fame form. That's 4 days ago. Okay, yeah, so he's still there. All right.
When did this domestic violence thing happen?
I believe during last season.
I'm not gonna lie, this is my first time hearing about that.
Yeah. Where were we? 49ers, right? So yeah, the Niners just got to figure out the money. And it was domestic violence. Yep. So yeah, they just got to figure out the money, and they are probably the favorite in the NFC once again. So at least based on what we've seen, because they haven't really lost anything. They got the same coaching staff. They got most of the players. And if Brock Purdy gets even better, then, dangerous. So,
I know they've been talking a lot of stuff about him in camp, but I mean, it's training camp, man.
Camp is the place to make mistakes, though, right?
Yeah, you really are trying to do stuff in training camp.
Yeah, exactly. What can we put in that they don't have tape on? What's it going to look like? Let's take a shot here. Let's try that,
All right, here we go.
Okay, schedule.
I just lost my pen and pad. That's right. What happened? That's what happens when you move stuff around. Here we go. All right. Week 1, Jets.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
a
forgot
dub.
about that. Yes, it is.
That's
But
a
it's
dub.
not going to be a blowout, though. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think it's going
It's
to be
Aaron
a
Rodgers.
win. Yeah.
It's Aaron Rodgers. It's San Fran. He just got back. I think they could try to keep it close. It is a late Monday night game. The hype of Aaron Rodgers being back, but I think the festivity of San Fran in last year's Super Bowl,
I think so
they
too.
coming to put a hurting on somebody. So
I think you're right.
I think San Fran definitely pulls that one out. They beat Minnesota.
Yes.
They beat Los Angeles.
Yes.
They beat New England.
Yes.
They kill or try to kill Kyler Murray.
Correct.
Seattle. What do we have for that? We had that as a dub.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Now Kansas
City. They got him in San Francisco
in October, week 7.
Well, the weather, it gets cold in Kansas City too, so the weather to me doesn't seem like a huge concern. So, but
no, it's still warm in San Fran in October, right?
Right. Relatively so. I mean, it's Northern Cal, so it's not like LA, but that is a tough game. I think I mean,
at this point, we're estimating them to be 6-0. So you're undefeated. You're at home hosting Kansas City.
Right. And your butt hurt off of the Super Bowl loss.
I'll say dub.
Yeah.
I say they give Kansas City because Kansas City really we don't have to beat y'all.
Right.
Y'all really want to beat us.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
So I'm gonna say that's a dub. Until I see further notice, they're gonna beat Dallas.
Yes.
So we're looking at 8-0.
At Tampa Bay. That's interesting.
What, Baker Mayfield?
Well, Baker, Godwin, Mike
Evans.
Thank you. I mean, they've got a good roster there, and Baker's not a bum. He's not a superstar, but he's not a bum. He won a playoff game with them last year, so and had them in place to try and make that last drive. He threw the pick, I know, but
okay,
they weren't getting blown out.
Then they're also 8-0. They're coming off a bye week though.
At some point, though, they gotta lose, right?
Yeah.
At some point, they gotta lose. I'm gonna give Tampa Bay this.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's say they're going to lose the streak against because they beat Seattle already in Seattle. Now Seattle got to come to them. I think they win that one.
Yeah. Ooh, at Green Bay. Ooh.
It's in Lambeau.
Yeah, it's at Lambeau.
I'm counting that as an L. I'm biased.
I think you're right. No, I think you're right. I think you're right, and especially again, we're doing this assuming everyone's healthy. Yeah, and then it's not like
I think
what's his
name?
LaFleur.
we got a little bit of an itch too.
Right,
we definitely lost.
Yes,
in San Fran last year.
Scheme.
Yeah, we know what they want to do.
Right.
Okay.
San Fran will run it if they can satisfy Brandon Ayuk. Him, Debo, and Ricky Pearsall is going to be tough. But I agree, biasly, Tampa will beat them. I think Tampa will beat them.
Yeah. And plus, they do for an L at that point, man. I mean, you 8-0, you off a bye, you kind of relax. Like, hey, man, we got a good start of the season. You're going into Florida. You're looking at the beautiful women.
Right.
You're not focused.
Right. I don't think that I don't think that you're going to see Ayuk, Debo, and Pearsall. I think if Pearsall shows that he's legit, I think they're gonna trade. They're gonna trade Brandon Ayuk to get out of paying him. And yes, it's not that serious. Mike Evans has had a 1,000-yard season every season he's played, which is crazy. That's why Baker Mayfield, after he was like begging him, like, bring this guy back, don't let him walk, because he's like, man, I need that weapon, So respect due there. I get the roster stacked in San Francisco, but are we really sold on Brock P? I am. I absolutely am sold on Brock Purdy.
We have plenty of footage. We've seen it.
Right. Here's the deal. If Brock Purdy was not Mr. Irrelevant, right? If he was a first-round pick, we wouldn't be asking the question about him. He's shown us everything we need to see.
Absolutely.
Think about this. Brock Purdy has already shown us more than Dak Prescott has.
Wow.
I mean,
he's already won more,
right? Yes.
He's already won more.
Yes. He's shown us way more than Dak Prescott has. And I found this out today. I thought it was the case, but I verified it today. Dak Prescott had 8 All-Pros on the Cowboys roster last year, more than any other team in the sport. Don't tell me Dak Prescott needs anything else. He's just not the guy. That's all there is to it.
1,000-yard receiver, 1,000-yard rusher, a player with 10 sacks, 10 plus sacks. cornerback with like 5 or more interceptions. It was something crazy. It was some stat line, and I
Right.
posted that next to a Green Bay
Yes.
post of us being up 31.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
That's horrible, man.
Right.
That's horrible. But Brock Purdy has shown. I mean, he's shown he can make the throws. He's shown he can read the defense. He's shown he knows how to put them feet to the dirt.
Sneaky
like, hey,
athletic.
if I need to get out of here, I can go and get you a big 12, 13-yard gain in the middle of traffic. You know
he's not going to pretend to be Lamar Jackson, but he can do it when he needs to.
Absolutely. But he's going to slide. He's definitely going to slide.
He can deliver the ball at an extremely high percentage, and he's not dinking and dunking. He led the league in yards and air yards per attempt last year.
Absolutely.
So I don't know.
Corner end zone. He got it.
Yes, I don't know why there are still all these questions on Brock Purdy. Well, I know why. There were questions on Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. If he was a first-round pick, they'd be drooling all over Brock Purdy. And correct.
Yep, we wouldn't be talking about it. But the fact that he's done it for a year and a half, because we still got to count the previous season before he got hurt against Philly. And then I think they could have beat Philly that year and went to the Super Bowl with back-to-back Super Bowls. But we're not going to talk about the past. We're just going to talk about his play. His play has been phenomenal. I mean, you give him his weapons, and people like they make this point right here. Well, if you take away 2 of his awesome weapons, he's not that good. I mean, you can say that about a lot of quarterbacks. I mean, if you take away the best tackle in football, you take away one of the best receivers in football,
right?
Of course, you're going to see me struggle a little bit. I'm running for my life because my left tackle is gone. You know what I mean? And now I'm having to find another receiver to get open because Deebo Samuel is a dynamic receiver. So
exactly
that's going to be the case with a lot of cornerbacks, man. So they got to give Purdy some type of credit at some point, man. I mean, 4,000 yards last year, led him to a Super Bowl after lead him to the NFC Championship game the year prior.
Right.
And the only reason he didn't beat Philly is because he didn't make it past the first quarter.
Right. He didn't finish
you know what I mean? So, I mean, come on.
Yeah, no doubt. It's not that serious. I definitely feel you on Jerry Jones being a major stumbling block for the Cowboys. I do. But we
know that.
Just as right. We all know that. But Dak is also a major one. I'm just tired of hearing people talk about Dak this, Dak that, and give Dak his money, blah, blah, blah. And you know, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that. You can pay him, but not reset the market money. Anyway, that's a whole different discussion. So I'm sorry. Where were we? We were Green Bay beating the Niners.
Green Bay, yep.
Yes. Okay. Buffalo.
Did I mark that one
Buffalo.
That's we're at 11.
You did.
Yeah, I did mark that. Okay.
At Buffalo. That's a tough one.
At Buffalo in December in the cold.
Probably snowed out.
Snow late. A late Sunday night too.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be frigid.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. I mean, you just came out of Green Bay and it's cold up there. That's 4:00 on a Sunday.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
I mean, at this point, you can afford a couple of L's. I mean, at this point, I got them 9-2. So, I mean, if they lose back-to-back against Green Bay and Buffalo, but then you got Chicago, Los Angeles, I mean, you can get a couple of more games out of that.
Right. They are going to beat Chicago.
They're going to beat Chicago. They're gonna run through Chicago. Chicago going to San Fran on this one. So
and they'll beat the Rams at home.
Yeah.
And I think they can beat Miami. The only thing I'm concerned about is you see a lot of northern teams that have to go down south to Miami in that humidity in the late season, and they fall prey to it. And then of course Miami's other distractions. So I don't know. That's tough. I don't know. Miami.
I'm gonna say L.
And Mike McDaniel knows that scheme extremely well too.
Okay, I'm gonna say L. That's all you needed to say for me.
Okay.
All right, then we got Detroit.
Ooh,
the rematch,
championship rematch.
Yeah, the rematch. So they're in San Fran, so that's good. That's good for them. But they were in San Fran last year, right?
No. This is at home. This is in San Francisco. Yes, they played that game in San Francisco.
Well, I think San Francisco gonna try to put a lesson on them. I think they will. I think at the end of the season, they're like, okay, look, y'all made it close last year, and y'all thought y'all was something, but if y'all, and then at this point, we're determining if whether Detroit's still number one in the NFC North, whether they're going to be a playoff threat, You know what I mean? So at this point, you're trying to prove you're trying to send a message. You know what I mean?
But
so,
isn't Detroit also trying to prove a message at this point, fighting for a top seed in the NFC and trying to win the division with Green Bay doing their thing, being better this year? They're also trying to prove a point.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But now I'm at home though. Like Detroit's not at home. They don't have that crowd behind them.
That's true.
San Fran, they got the crowd behind them. They in the heat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got that, decent weather. I'm not gonna say, heat going on, but
right.
They got the decent weather going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling yourself. You just came out of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a good one right there. Late night on a Monday too. This is a prime time. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's a toss up. I know they finished with a win at Arizona. We know that.
Yeah, they're gonna beat Arizona. So right now that's 12-4. So we got one more. The Detroit game.
I do not know, man.
I'm gonna say they get them. Because at this point, you want to finish off the year strong, going on a little bit of a hot streak. You know what I mean? That'll be what 1, 2, 3 games in a row. 4, 5 games in a row. Chicago, Los Angeles, Miami, Detroit, Arizona. You want to be on some type of streak.
Okay, you know what? I can see that now. I can see that.
Yeah, you want to be on some type of streak. You at home. You don't want your last game of the season at home in the regular season. You lose.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially to a team that almost, snuck one in your own house last year. So I'll give it to him. I'm
good with that. Okay.
So that's 13-4.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I had him at about 13 wins.
No, that sounds fair. Okay, there we go. And so we are done with the NFC West, and those are our 2 divisional previews. Man, so the Niners are still good. Newsflash, right? Excuse me.
Breaking news. So hit him with the big baritone. Breaking news.
Right.
You have San Francisco 49ers still one of the best teams in the league.
Right. There you go. All right, so now we've wrapped up our NFC West preview. We'll go ahead and open up the phone lines, 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. You can go ahead and give us a call if you disagree with anything or you have some extra thoughts on the NFC West and how it may play out and how that affects the NFC overall and the NFL this year. 904-219-8264. Let's get it. And then we got a real good topic coming up next. Looking forward to that one.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good fight, by the way.
Is it? Okay. What round are they in?
Third round. We're not at the
Okay, not at the main event yet. Okay.
Yeah, let's call him Jimmy Butler. Well, I don't know why I was like, man, we're not in the Jimmy Butler fight.
Wow.
But Terrence Crawford, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Okay.
But Anderson, Bokale, how you say his name? Bokal?
I don't know. I don't even know who's fighting right now.
Heavyweight.
Big Baby Anderson fighting? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. Damn. Woo. All right.
He already got put on his bottom already.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we're not going to get any calls on this one, so let's go ahead and let's move to the main event, shall we?
Yes, sir.
I know there's some you were interested in, some I definitely wanted to talk about too, and I'm glad I got you on tonight to discuss this transform. So obviously, we know you're a Laker fan, but I know that you can also be objective when we're talking this stuff. So that's always love. So actually, so let me give a shout out to one of the channels that I regularly watch, and that's the channel Scap Attack. And he did a video like within the last couple of days talking. What's up, Steve? I like it. Talking about basically Kobe versus Tim Duncan and kind of their rivalry, because their careers span pretty much the exact same period of time. Tim Duncan played 19 years. Kobe played 20 years. Kobe came in 96. Tim Duncan came in 97. So it's just a perfect overlap. And they were basically each other's constant roadblocks in the West. Between the two of them in that 20-year span, they played for 13 championships and won 10 between the two of them. So you couldn't ask for any more between. Isn't that amazing? Right.
That's amazing. Man.
Right. Between two competitors. The closest I can kind of think of is obviously Chamberlain Russell, but like I think
Bird
Russell
Magic.
played for like, Bird Magic would be kind of the closer one because there was such a gap between Wilt and Mr. Russell. But
yeah.
Listen, man, Steve, man, you're killing me. You jumping the shark, brother, and you're 100% right.
Steve. Just don't. We're having a very, very good debate. I'm not going to mention LeBron one time today, so let's not do this today.
And
we're talking
my intent is
Kobe,
to keep my mentions of LeBron to a minimum.
None.
We're gonna do our best. But no, I was saying, I think that the best analogy here is probably Magic and Bird. In the 80s, Bird played for 5 championships, won 3. Magic played for 9 championships, won 5. So between the two of them, that's 12 appearances and 8 championships, right? So that's the closest I think that we get to Duncan and Kobe. And I think that's pretty fair in terms of all-time great rivalries. So before we even start digging into this, why don't people talk about Kobe Bryant and Tim Duncan as one of the all-time great rivalries? I hadn't even thought about that. What's the deal with that?
I mean, that's how many times we played them.
Ran into him multiple times in the Western Conference playoffs, right?
Like early on.
Like in the first half
Kobe
of the 2000s, right?
Yeah. But I think when Kobe started resurging himself back into the playoffs, into the finals, like I mean, we running into Denver's, the OKCs, the Utah Jazzes. Like we never really saw San Antonio again. Then when San Antonio went on their resurgence, that was when Miami was coming up, and Kobe had the injury the following year. So them 4 or 2, it was 2 back-to-back that no.
So Kobe went to the finals
in 2011, and then he won again in 2014.
Yes,
that was Tim Duncan. So Kobe hurt himself in 2011, I want to say. And
no. Okay, so
am I getting the timelines mixed up? I think I'm getting the timelines mixed up.
So San Antonio definitely won in 2014. They went and lost in 2013, the year before, on Ray Allen saving LeBron. Yeah, I said it. Ray Allen saving LeBron.
You're right. I'm getting the
right.
teams mixed up. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was back-to-back years they went.
Yeah, right. But still they ran into each other a lot in like the first half of the 2000s. They ran into each other a lot. Kobe has a better playoff record than Duncan. I believe he does. So that Steve, great point. And I was actually going to bring this up. Quick side note, which I think is awesome in terms of Kobe's greatness. In that 3-year stretch, what was that? 08, 09, 2010, Kobe beat more 50-win teams in the playoffs than Magic Johnson did in his entire career. And I think that Magic Johnson is the second greatest player of all time. I truly believe that. Even as a diehard Celtics fan, to my soul, I believe that he's the second best player of all time. I think Kareem is third and Bird is fourth. But to see what Kobe went through, the path that he went through, and he won 2 of those finals, man, that's just absolutely incredible. Yes, Kobe is 18-12 versus Duncan in the playoffs. Steve, you jumping ahead, man. I appreciate you, though, man. I love this. I love Steve is on it, man.
Sometimes the chat needs to help us out, okay? We got
right.
We lost 2. We're not freaking
right.
We're not know-it-alls, okay?
Yeah, we don't have researchers and statisticians like the cats you see on TV. We try to come in here prepared,
like Joy.
Right. We try to come in here prepared, but so Steve, let's throw this up here for you. There you go. So we pulled this, and these guys, man, I think so. First thing here, right? We know how great the Mamba was. Like, there's no question about it. I will never, Celtics fan or not, take a shot at the Mamba. We know how incredible the dude was. That said, Tim Duncan, I don't think gets credit for how great he was. And it's funny, I'm actually, oh my gosh, these guys are reading our freaking minds here. Duncan never had the marketing around that Kobe had.
Can we talk? Can we talk? That was my point. I mean, can I get to mine?
I was gonna say the same thing. I appreciate you, Nick. And that's where I was. That's where I was just going. In the old analogy, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Tim Duncan
Nick,
was a
Nick,
guy.
go ahead, just call in at this point. Just call. We're just gonna open up the phone
Nick
lines,
can't call.
man.
He's from Australia. He can't call us.
Oh man, yeah.
You
That's
know
gonna
what,
one
Nick?
hell
I
of a
tell you
phone
what,
bill.
though, Nick, if you have WhatsApp, you actually can call. You can call, and you know what? I'm gonna hit you with my personal thing, so that going forward, if you want to call in, you can call in on WhatsApp, man. I want to make sure that you get an opportunity to speak, because you're one of those guys that's here every time, man. We really appreciate that. So I'm gonna make sure I send you I get your information and I send you a message.
We're
But
gonna hook you
anyway,
up, Nick.
yeah. We gonna get it so you can call in. But yeah, so like I was saying, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? And Tim Duncan was the dude who consistently dominated, got busy, but never was looking for the spotlight. That wasn't what he was about. He was about just doing whatever it took to try to win, right? And to some extent, I think Kobe was like that too. It's just that his game had so much flash, like he was going to get the attention. But he wasn't out there in the media like, hey, look at me, look at what I'm doing. Like,
nope.
He wasn't
on
like
to the next one.
Right. On to the next one. I'm just trying to win. And however it has to happen, that's what I'm gonna do. This show is
necessary and important.
Look at Nick, man. Nick is a fool.
Yes,
you did,
Bill.
Bro.
All right, Bill.
Did. Yo, Nick hacked my computer, bro.
I'm over here like, damn, why can't we say what we want, man?
Right?
We the ones with the mic, man. Y'all just call in, bro. Just open up the phone lines. 904-219.
Right. We don't have anything to say. We gonna open up the phone lines, let y'all run the show.
Damn, no, my guy.
No, he absolutely is. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you, Transform. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. As a Celtics fan, I'm ashamed of how much I love Kobe and how incredible I think he is. Yeah. That is the respect that I have for his greatness and for his work ethic and his determination to be the greatest player that he could be, and as a result, become one of the greatest players who ever played. And I feel the need to say that publicly to you and to all the other Lakers fans, because he, like you and I, we go back and forth, of course, Lakers Celtics, and that's fine. But
absolutely.
I think
that's to the end of time.
Yeah, that's going to be that. But also the respect has to be there for the greatness of these franchises and the players that were on them. And Kobe, man, is like, matter of fact, let's do this, because like the dude was so special. I mean, and this is early athletic Kobe, but like, to me, what's crazy is like the skill set, like the things he was doing. Yeah, he could bang on you, but
I mean,
now, remember that last
certain
shot?
moves that shouldn't be able to be made.
Now look at this. He shot that left-handed because remember he had got hurt, so he continued to play and he was shooting the ball left-handed. Like, boom, gotcha.
Boy,
yeah,
you about to make me tear up over here, man.
I know, right? Look at this. Look at the footwork. Look at the footwork.
Jesus Christ!
I know a guy who could never do things like that. Oh, there that guy is.
You know what? Hey. We are going to keep it Kobe Bryant.
That's fair. That's fair.
Tim
that's fair.
Duncan. Okay, wrong Laker right now. Wrong Laker.
Right.
You want to speak about? Okay. But Jesus, look at this, man. I mean, that's hours and days and days and days, years and years of just work, grind, grit, and like he'll literally work on the same move 1,000 times.
Yeah,
1,000 times per practice.
10,000 hour rule, right? 10,000 hour rule.
Yeah, I mean, like per practice, I'm shooting that same shot 1,000 times. Like, come on, man.
This is a great comment here from Steve. As great as Kobe was, Duncan never had a mediocre team stretch like Kobe post Shaq. As much as I respect Kobe, Duncan did his...
Okay, guys in the chat.
Let
us get to it, man. Those are some of y'all are taking our shine, man.
Yo, I love the fact that the chat is. I love the fact that they're intelligent sports fans and they're here with us. So they're making it easy for us to for us to do this segment.
We're just gonna interact whatever off y'all say, man. Don't even go in the next cues, bro. Chat, y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it.
I think Kobe is better than Duncan. Okay, so in fairness, I believe Kobe is better than Duncan as well, but I don't think the gap is as huge as maybe Scap Attack would make it out to be. 1 MJ, 2 Kareem, 3 Magic, 4 Bird, 5 Duncan, 6 Kobe. Okay, so wow. So Steve, my 5 is 1 Mike, 2 One Mike, I'm sorry, 2 Magic, 3 Kareem, 4 Bird, 5 Elijah. Elijah is my 5th. So
I get
and
your Bird,
I'm not mad, huh?
I get nothing. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I'm not mad at anyone who has Kobe higher. I'm not mad
Yeah.
because you can easily make the legitimate argument for Kobe's greatness, as we talked about, that beating more 50-win teams in 3 years and Magic did in a career, obviously winning 5 championships out of 7 finals runs. Just again, we saw the skill set on display right now, the full skill set just now, in terms of the footwork, in terms of the ball handling. And what I hate is, you get people who say, well, Kobe was a Chuck, he couldn't pass. Well, no, that's not true. But one, he played the bulk of his career in the triangle offense, more than half of his career. And that's not an offense that ever facilitates big assist numbers. You can go back and
He's
look.
got a point guard.
Right. Nobody, even with the point guard, the way the triangle is, it's made to force defenses out of position and then find the open man. So anybody can get the assist when they understand how the triangle works. It's not one guy making all the decisions and dishing the rock. So it's kind of unfair. Which of these guys would you say made their team better?
I would say I know what team had the greatest coach.
I think
for a
Duncan
long duration.
So I think Duncan made his team better slightly more than Kobe. Not a lot more, slightly. And I think that was his willingness to, even as he aged, to fade from being the main scorer to being a guy who says, I'll just do the dirty work. Meanwhile, Kobe was going to dominate a certain way. And, Tim Duncan obviously was amazing as well from the time he came into the league when he was young. Now, don't get me wrong. He had the benefit of playing with David Robinson, and people act like David Robinson. Yeah, he was not shot when Tim Duncan came in the league, right? He was still very, very good. What was that? 07. So we gotta stop acting like, okay, he was just done by that time, because that's simply not the case.
Look at these fundamentals, man.
Right?
Ball square up. Let's get it.
Yeah, he'll square up on you.
That's on Big Ben too.
Look at that spin move. Gotcha. And you know what's crazy? That spin move looks slow. And he still got him.
It reminds me of how like Luka Doncic plays these days. You know what I mean? It's like it's so slow. Like, how are you guys not doing nothing with this, man?
Right. Yeah, I mean, look at this right here. But look how he reverses. Step through. Gotcha. And Tim Duncan, he could just no, he didn't travel though. He didn't travel.
Feet.
No, he didn't switch feet. He pivoted. No, he used his pivot foot. I mean, but regardless, Tim Duncan, what I love about him is that's a dude that he could contribute to winning without necessarily having to be the main scorer. And, whatever it took. What is it, 15 times all NBA defense, which was crazy. I think that's the most all time. He was that guy, man. Luka's pace is just like Timmy's. That's probably fair. So yeah, getting back to it, I think that we look at a dude like Kobe, and Kobe was absolutely incredible, no question about it. I think maybe, can we say Tim Duncan was better for longer? Can we say that?
Better for long? Yeah. I mean,
I don't think his peak was as high.
The injuries played a toll on Kobe. The Achilles and the shoulder, and you know what I mean? It definitely took a toll on him. So he was out much longer after the Achilles started. That's when it really just crashed and burned at that point. Kobe could only do so much after that. Tim stayed relatively healthy, and then he had the help of that's when they started this sitting rule, the whole rest.
Oh yeah, the load management. Yeah,
load man. I couldn't remember the name of it, but load management. So he was able to get that treatment. So you know what I mean? That was able to keep him in the game a whole lot longer. Because like I said, he wasn't nearly as athletic as Kobe. He didn't nearly do as much as Kobe, or as far as an offensive standpoint, defensive standpoint, guarding, 1 through 3, 1 through 4 sometimes, and stuff like that, being on the perimeter, bringing the ball up the court, trying to dunk on everybody, trying to do a pivot standpoint, throw it off the backboard, catch it, throw it to the corner. I mean, he wasn't doing too much. So
here's a question.
It definitely took a toll on him.
Do you think that if the Lakers front office was to bring in another elite scorer, that Kobe would have been able to have the mentality to accept that, or did he have to be the guy to win by leading offensively, kind of like Mike?
Which Kobe?
Well, I guess
That's
post
gonna be
Shaq
my
Kobe,
question.
obviously, because he was
So we
young with
still
Shaq.
we
And they
talking
grew
about
together.
early 8 Kobe or like late, like after he turned 24? Which one?
No, I'll just say post Shaq Kobe.
Post Shaq Kobe, nobody's coming on that team can outscore him. No.
Okay. Maybe not outscore, but be another elite scorer. 22,
And
24
elite.
points a
Okay,
game.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
You think he would
At
have
that point,
accepted that?
I think he would accept, because at the point where we had Smush Parker,
Mm-hmm.
Smush freaking Parker,
Mm-hmm.
Kwame Brown, you know what I mean?
Right.
We didn't have anybody, and Kobe didn't care what you did as long as you worked your
Yeah.
ass off
Yeah.
every game.
Yeah.
You could have been honestly, you could have probably been a 30-point scorer. But as long as you showed Kobe that you worked, you in practice, you putting in that grit and that grind, you in the game, and we're not settling for nothing less than winning, then Kobe would accept it. Kobe is a winner. He cared about winning the most. His biggest problem with Shaq is that he just didn't care. Shaq stopped caring.
Yeah.
He stopped caring about the
It's
game.
tough.
You didn't want to get better. You didn't want to evolve. It's not that I don't want to be with you. Like, but bro, you got to be better than me. I want you to be grinding just as hard as I am to be better than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't see him having a problem with nobody coming in being a 20, 24-point scorer, as long as they coming in and they putting in that work.
Okay. And see that, I think that's one of the things, like for me with Tim Duncan and his greatness, like as he aged and as the other guys started coming into their own, whether it was Manu or Tony Parker, like he didn't care as long as you guys worked and you were about winning. Because that's what he was about. So if that mean, okay, I'm gonna just play D, I'm gonna just rebound, I will get mine where I can, cool. I don't have to be the main guy offensively anymore. And I got a lot of respect for that.
But you got to think, he also came into a system to where from top to bottom they were about winning. He came in behind the Admiral with Greg Popovich, who's all about winning. Greg Popovich don't like none of that selfish stuff. You want to be selfish, he'll trade you immediately.
This is not the place.
This is not the place. We're all about fundamental team basketball, ball movement. San Antonio has some of the, like, if people want to go back and watch real basketball play, some of the best ball movement you will ever see in a game. You know what I mean? When it comes to passing, getting people to getting the shot, getting the shooters open to their spots and stuff like that. Like that team was fundamentally sound. And I think he came into that environment and he inherited that role as, okay, well, if I'm the leader, well, I'm Greg Popovich Jr. I'm Greg Popovich on the court. You know what I mean? So, that's a different mentality than Kobe. You know what I mean? Kobe was like, okay, hard work. Yeah, we want to win. But okay, all right, if you guys suck, well, guess what? I don't have to play with y'all. Y'all can get the hell up out of here, and I'm gonna put up 30 shots a game. You want to you want the ball, get a rebound.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a different mentality than what Tim Duncan had, coming out of that tutelage of Greg Popovich, in my opinion.
Definitely. And I love here, if you look at, their playoff per game matchups, 30 games against one another, and the numbers are strikingly close, basically, other than the rebounds, right? The rebounds, I think, are only, but obviously you're looking at a power forward / center versus a shooting guard. Like, you're just not gonna, So I mean, but these guys, man, it's just amazing. Two of the all-timers. And it's funny because I was never a big Tim Duncan guy, but the further and further we get away from his playing career and the more we see the way modern quote unquote big man play looks, the more I'm appreciating Tim Duncan. And I'm just realizing, like, I didn't give this guy his due for how great he was and how dominant he was,
because guess what, man? Tim Duncan will go play, have a 30-point, 12 rebound game, and go sit down, and you don't hear nothing from him.
Just disappear, right?
Like, you don't hear nothing from him.
Oh, Timmy already on the bus.
Man, he already showered. He already at home.
Yeah, right.
With the big baggy jeans with the mismatched shirt.
Right. He doesn't care about any of that, and
don't care about nothing, man.
No, all he cares about is winning. Just go out there, do his work, and try to win. And I have so much respect for that. I think that's very, very real, And so here's some interesting numbers regarding Tim Duncan, kind of his place historically. So as you can, matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna replay this. I'm gonna turn the banner off so we can see it all, and I'm gonna put it back up there. All right. So yeah, like, look, now this is his regular seasons: 5th in blocks, 6th in rebounds, 16th in points. And we don't even think about Tim Duncan as a scorer, and he's 16th all time. And then you look at the playoffs: 1st in blocks, 3rd in rebounds, 6th in points. Like, he got it done, man. He just flat out got it done when they needed it the most. I have it's hard. Now as it was said in the chat, oh yeah, no, that's a great point. He did it in a loaded West because for a while the West was far superior to the East.
They did it in the loaded West. They
Yeah,
both
they
lived
did.
there. They
That's
had to
right.
go
That's
against
right.
each other.
Yeah, and I think head to head in the playoffs, somebody said it earlier in the chat. Kobe has a slightly better record of 18-12, and where you got to give credit to Kobe and start leaning his way is probably the fact that he again post Shaq, and they didn't match up against each other much post Shaq, but still what he was able to do without Shaq is like crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so he did not have as good teams as the Spurs. He just didn't. But
And
guess
coaching.
what?
Yeah, you got to think Phil left. Well, I mean, Phil left, Shaq
He left and
left.
came
So
back though.
I mean, I'm just saying in that time, like post Shaq.
Okay, I
Like
got
that
you.
brief time
Immediately
post-Shaq.
post
So,
Shaq. Yeah.
like Kobe went into some dog years, man. To where it's like I got to put up 30
really
shots
tough
a
spots.
game. I mean, there's nobody there. There's nobody there. There's no good coach. There's no second or third guy. There's no bench. There's no nothing. And then when Phil came back, we saw what Kobe is like with a dominant head coach, with the structure, with the team. You know what I mean? So, Tim Duncan got a chance to benefit for that for his entire career.
He did. That's true.
Tony, and
Manu.
and Manu, they played their entire careers together under Greg Popovich's tutelage.
Right.
So you always wonder, like, damn, I mean, what if Kobe would have had Phil for like the entire duration of his career? Like, what if there was no gap in a coaching mindset or somebody to put the pieces together for him? Because, like I said, that wasn't Kobe's thing. I'm not here to put the team together, but I'm here to determine whether they're good enough to work with me. You know what I mean? He was good at that, so I'm not going to go out here and GM and put these guys together. That's your job.
Right.
So put these guys together for me. So when he got Phil back. And we got Paul Gasol. We had Andrew Bynum, even though he wanted Andrew Bynum gone. But, we had Andrew Bynum, and we started picking up pieces to really put a championship team together. Got Derek Fisher back. I think he was in Utah at the time.
Yep.
And really started to put that around Kobe. We saw what he did with it. He went to 3 back-to-back championships.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and it literally took an injury for him to take that away from him. It took an injury.
Right.
So – I mean, you can't go wrong with either one, bro.
No, you can't. So the question is this. I think we both agree that it's Kobe by a little bit. How much of a gap do you think there is between these two?
What are we measuring? From 1 to 10?
Just let's go 1 to 10. Just in terms of their overall greatness. Where
Nope, not doing it. Not doing it, man. I'm not doing it. I said I'm not doing it.
I'm with you. I've been fighting it. I'm not doing it either.
Name.
But yeah,
he
who
shall not be mentioned. No,
right.
Harry Potter
who shall not be named.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
But yeah, so if we both have Kobe slightly ahead of Duncan, which I'm not mad at, and I wouldn't be mad the other way either, how much of a gap do you think there is between the two?
I would say if you was to put Kobe at a 10, Tim Duncan is like a 8.9. Something like it's got to be close.
That's not a huge gap.
Okay. It's not a huge gap, but it's good because for me, neither of these bums got their son in the league. Well, Kobe didn't have boys, sir. He had girls.
Hilarious.
He had nothing but girls. Girls.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, we're not doing this, Nick. Wait, you say he's in Australia?
Yes, Nick is
he's
in
Australia. It's
He's
nighttime, bro. What time is it in Australia?
Nah, it's morning time over there.
Oh man, go to Starbucks, man. Get you a coffee, get you a frappuccino or something, man, and get off the day. Okay?
Now finish the show, then go get your coffee, man.
But don't forget to make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that follow button. Make sure you share.
There you go. Hit that share button too, man. Yeah.
But I think to me, man, Kobe was so just pure dominant. Like yes, Tim Duncan was good. He was great. He was a dominant player in his own right.
I was about to say, I think he was dominant too.
But when it came to Kobe and it's the fourth quarter, bro, it's like buckle up. Like you know who's getting the ball. You just can't stop him. He's putting up shot after shot, and you're legit worried about this one man, Tim Duncan. You're worried about the Spurs beating you, right? End of the Laker game, you're worried about Kobe just dropping 10 in the fourth quarter in the last 4 or 5 minutes, and you're like, bro, we just couldn't stop him, man. Like we sent double teams after him. He spent it
Yeah.
off. He threw it to the corner off the back, like off the backboard to himself, throwing it to the corner play. That's some selfish stuff, bro. That's some like, okay, look, you just can't stop me to do anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think the mentality and on the defensive side of the ball, and yet, granted, Tim Duncan is a Hall of Fame defender as well.
Absolutely.
But the clamps half court, like Kobe's checking you full court now.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan never had to check nobody full court.
Well, in fairness, right? A 7-footer is like, that's not position. Right.
So I mean, I gotta give Kobe something for that. Like I'm
not
in the fourth quarter playing 38 minutes at this point. Now I'm checking this guy full court, and I still got to put up 40 to win the game. So I mean, I think that plays a lot, man.
It does
to me. You know what I mean? Like Grant, I love what Timmy done. I mean, Timmy anchored that center down. You know what I mean? You wasn't going in the block without him being in your face. Fundamentally, he's backing you down. He's putting you in the post and he put you in a blender. You know what I mean? But it was just more like more fundamental. And yeah, I like that. Kobe was flashier, and Kobe was hella volume.
So here's the thing though. Kobe was a volume guy, but we keep knocking him for this quote unquote being inefficient. But most elite shooting guards throughout history were right around that 45.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chat, somebody look up Ray Allen's career shooting percentage. He's known as one of the greatest shooters of all time. He's deadly in the mid-range, obviously deadly from three. And I don't think he was above like 46% for his career. And so
I'm overall field goal percentage?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they, I'm not gonna say who they are, love to talk about how Kobe wasn't efficient, but realistically, that a career 46%, 45% from the field for an elite shooting guard, like that's pretty darn good, especially with the level of difficulty shots that Kobe was taking, and he was much better in the mid-range than a lot of other guys, what do we got? Kobe, Tim, and Steph are the only players to win multiple titles without a top 75 teammate. Shows how close they are. Yeah, no, great point. Wait a minute. No. Tim Duncan he's not on that list. He won 2 championships with David Robinson. So he's not on that list, Nick. Nah, you got to drop him off. That's multiple titles.
David's got to be on there, I want to say.
Yeah, D-Rob is top 75, absolutely, because he's top 50.
I mean, I guess he mean because he won more.
I get the point, though. Say again.
I guess because he like post, I guess David Robinson retired, so Tim Duncan did win 4 more.
Yeah, but no, 3 more. But he won his first 2 with him.
3 more. Yeah, 3 more.
Let's see. You know what? Now the chat don't want to help. They want to be reading minds and reading minds ahead of time. Yo, did you see what Nick said?
What he say?
Nick is talking to us from the future right now. He said that's how he knew what we were gonna say. Because it's 11 o'clock.
Oh, because it's 11 a.m.
Yeah.
He said, man, it's already Sunday. Yeah. We already went to church, praised Jesus, and already looked over y'all playing already.
I know what they're gonna say. It's only counting the ones without. Okay, I got you, Nick.
Yeah, I figured that's what he meant.
Yeah. So Kobe is 45% for his career from the field. Now everyone's gonna tell you Ray Allen is a far superior shooter to Kobe. He was more efficient, right? So Kobe is 44.7. Ray Allen is 45.2. So that is not
huge of a difference.
Right. So can we? Yeah. So we gotta stop this fake narrative that, well, not we know who it is, but the fake narrative needs to stop that. Oh, Kobe was so inefficient, blah blah blah. Like that's not a real thing.
No,
it's not a real thing. As an elite shooting guard, no, it's not a real thing. So
we got to think those numbers actually dwindled down because of the end of his career too, when he was hurt. So, I mean,
that's right. Great point.
He had some bad seasons. He literally couldn't shoot.
Injuries. Right. Yeah. Literally. Exactly. So yeah, gotta stop that. I don't like the fake narratives. But yeah, I think that to your point, I do think it is slightly Kobe. It's it's a little bit difficult to compare, obviously, with them being 2 totally different positions, playing the game a different way and playing in different places on the floor. But the fact that they bumped into each other many times, in the playoffs throughout their career, and that they shared a career, and that they were two of the most elite players of all time. It was interesting to bring that up. So, I didn't dig super deep into the numbers, but just looking at this stuff. What up, Osmosis Jones? Haven't seen you in a while. Appreciate you coming in.
I mean, you got both players that won. Well, one won 5 championships. The other one won like 4.5. But
Okay.
I mean,
lockout year 99.
Okay, all right. As long as you remember.
Yeah. As long as you know what, I'm not even gonna. Okay. That's cool. Exactly, Steve. You're 100% right. That's right.
Be named.
That's right. Different positions require different responsibilities. 100% correct.
It's
absolutely. Not that serious. Analytics or stats without context. The media tries to denigrate Kobe. Correct. But it is what it is. We know why they're doing that. So let's do this, y'all. I know y'all been waiting to chime in on this. You've been chiming in the chat, and we appreciate that. Some of y'all read our minds. Some of y'all were, watching from the future, so you knew it was coming.
So many great takes, right? Nick took one. I think Steve took another. I'm like, God damn, man.
It's not that serious.
No more, man. Hold on, man. I'm like, they just really just like right before I'm about to say something or you about to say something, like, oh, well, there you go.
There it goes. Right.
I'm just going to reiterate on what Steve said. Steve Splendor, shout out to Steve Splendor. We're going to make sure.
Right. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to open up the phone lines now. 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Give me a call. Give us a call. Give us your thoughts on this topic. And let's hear what you guys say.
Out of both greats, fourth quarter, 24 seconds. Who gets the ball?
Depends on what you need.
Who gets the ball?
Right?
You're down 2.
Depends on the situation.
You're down 2. Who gets the ball?
Oh, you're down 2?
You're down 2. Who gets the ball?
Timmy? Yeah. The reason why is he's likely going to be closer to the rim, right? So theoretically, higher percentage shot, and he's got a good chance of making it and possibly getting fouled. Okay. So I will just go with that logic.
So 10 seconds left in the game. Who gets the ball?
Where's the inbound from?
Half court.
Ooh. Kobe. Yes, Kobe.
I love this
because also he can.
You can't go wrong with either one, dude.
Yeah.
You can honestly, you can still get it to Timmy in 10 seconds.
You can, but I think Kobe's capable of creating more.
Yeah.
From anywhere on the floor than Tim is. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you put Timmy anywhere within 15 feet, he's straight.
Right. But then it's who are they playing against? Who's the defender? What's the matchup? You know what I'm saying? You gotta start looking at all those things. It's never just as simple as, you got this time, who gets the ball? You know what I'm saying?
09 Detroit.
09 Detroit.
I mean, not 09 Detroit. 04 Detroit.
04
Detroit.
Oh man, that's tough because you got the Ben Wallace Tim Duncan matchup, but you also got the Tayshaun Prince Kobe matchup.
Yeah. Come on now.
I'm going Timmy then.
Timmy?
Yes.
Both 24 and 10 seconds?
Yes, because again, Ben Wallace is elite, but Ben Wallace is still only 6'8", 6'9". Tim Duncan 7', 7'1", and again, he's got a chance to shoot over the top and or get a foul out of it. Tayshaun Prince 6'9" and super long. Pause. His arms are super long and everything, and he really made it tough on Kobe in the 04 finals. So, yeah,
I like that. Thank you, Steve.
What's up? What did Steve say?
Nobody getting the ball but Kobe. Not giving up that rock.
Oh.
Hey, Timmy, you better get this rebound because I'm about to
get it off the glass.
I'm about to jack this one up, bro.
Oh man, I appreciate you. It's not Kobe, that serious, man.
I love him, man. That was my idol, bro. I cried like a girl.
Yeah, Kobe was a problem.
I cried like a freaking girl, man.
I didn't believe it when I heard it, bro.
Dude, I was in Tampa. I was in Tampa at my my wife's parents' house, right? And we was outside chilling, having a good time. I had my watch on, my Apple Watch. Okay. And so it just kept timing, going off. My phone was in the house. I'm like, man, why did my watch keep going off? I didn't bother looking at it. We finally get back in the crib, and I finally look at my phone. I'm getting blown through the roof. Like, I'm talking call after call, text after text. Like, hey man, we just looking. Praying for you. We hope everything's okay, man. We sorry to hear that. RIP. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And it was like, man, Kobe died. And I'm like, nah, It's all going. You know, Facebook. You hear all a bunch of rumors and stuff like that, man. But when I saw that TMZ post, it's like the phone just fell out of my hand, bro. I collapsed. I collapsed, bro.
I didn't believe it. I think my boy texted me and told me, and I was like, "What? That don't even sound right." So immediately I hop on the computer and I start looking it up, and I'm like, "Okay, reputable news sites, and you start seeing you start seeing the CNN and the ABC and the NBA. I'm like,
oh, these are new. Like they got choppers out there looking for them. You know what I mean?
Like, man, that's crazy,
man, dog. Like that hurt, bro. I mean, and we had to ride back up to Jacksonville that same night. I'm talking 3 hours of silence on the road, bro. Just tears. I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah,
man.
that is crazy. That is crazy.
No, Chad, I'm not finna tear up, man. Y'all saw that? Y'all see it right there? Y'all see that there? Y'all see?
Last name, I feel you, and I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying, like, from a logical standpoint, I think situation dictates, and I'm not mad at you saying Kobe. Not mad at all. I just think situation dictates. That's all I'm saying. And,
no, absolutely. Because if we're playing a small team defensively, we tossing that thing to Tim. Hey, give it to Tim. Like, what are we doing? But you just can't have Kobe touch the ball. That's the key. Like, make sure Kobe doesn't touch the ball.
Because
you're like, hey man, look, if they doubling, hey man, just toss it to Tim, give it to the point guard, give it to Tim, and Tim, just don't give it to Kobe, because if you do, you ain't getting the ball back unless you rebound it. You tip back or something.
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean? So,
all right. Well, surprisingly, looks like we're not gonna get any calls on this one.
I thought it was a prank.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead. Let's move on to the final topic, and maybe we might still see some of this fight. We are going to go now to talk some boxing, which we love talking on this show. So let's get right to it. Yo, Nick is so stupid. Breaking news from the future. Caleb Williams says he. Yeah, we appreciate the news from the future, Nick. Appreciate
absolutely,
you,
man. Absolutely.
By the way, Nick, what's the winning lottery numbers, man? If you could,
facts. Write it down. Hold on, where's my pen? Let me get my pen.
Yeah, if you could help us out with that, we really appreciate it. Mega Millions and Powerball, please. All right, team. All right, let's go ahead and knock out this final topic. Then we let you guys get out of here, man. By the way, I really appreciate y'all being here with us, man. We're having a good time tonight. We're talking some great sports. We love doing this. We love doing this for y'all. We love doing this for us, man. Make sure, if you haven't already, you're clicking that like and subscribe, and click that share, man. Let other people know about the show so that they can watch it too, and then they can start coming into the lives in the future.
You know what? The thing about it, guys, is that hitting that like button takes 2 seconds. It's free. Hitting the share button takes 2 seconds. It's free, guys. You're doing that, but supporting the channel. We love it. We love you guys in the reaction. You know, you guys make us better when you guys are chiming in the chat and literally predicting what we're about to say, literally taking our shine away from what our posting, what our comments about to be about. You know, we appreciate it, but no, man, greatly appreciate the love. You know, but that like and share, that subscribe, it goes a long way. It goes a longer way than what you guys know and love, man. So we appreciate it.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's get to the last one. As you all know, we love talking boxing. We're missing our main man G tonight, but we're still going to talk boxing. So, first quick topic. We were under the impression, I think we briefly talked about it last week, that Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis were supposed to fight, but it looks like that fight hasn't been here's Nino. That fight hasn't been gone through yet. So hold on, let's take this call from Nino, then we'll get back to the boxing.
Yep.
Nino, what's good, man?
Right now.
What's good, man? Hey, good show today, man. Nobody doing too much hating.
All right, we appreciate that.
Hey, don't get him started. Nino, don't get him started, man.
But I'm gonna give an edge slight to Kobe, man. Just because Timmy D need somebody to throw the ball into down there to him.
That's fair.
It's close because I seen, like I always say, I seen Kobe without a team, and I don't know how good of a leader Kobe was without, Kobe like, hey, y'all supposed to be doing this. If I'm this good, y'all supposed to be working extra.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he got the best out of just anybody, any old guys. I don't think Kobe did that.
I agree. I think you're right about that.
Tim Duncan, they say he was a real leader. Now that's what they say. We don't know much about him, but he was the truth on the court.
Right.
It's real close, man. I don't know, but I love the show.
I appreciate that, man, and I think you're right. I think we both have Kobe slightly, not a huge gap, but we both have Kobe just slightly above Tim Duncan. But
it's close enough to forever have an argument. Yeah,
and I think it's close enough that you wouldn't be wrong if you went the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They both won in the system.
That's right.
They both won in the system. We seen Kobe without a system. We seen what happened without the system. But they didn't give them players without the system. So, but you know how that goes.
Yeah. But real quick before I let you go, Nino, I will say that Tim Duncan always impressed me, and this is something I forgot to mention earlier, in that he played in a lot of different systems, right? Because when he first came in the league, they played with the 2 big men twin tower system. Then he played in the 1 big man dominant. He was the guy system. Then they played in the high pick and roll with Tony Parker getting busy system. Then they played in the European style, extra pass, shoot a lot of threes system.
Right.
They won kind of different ways, and Tim Duncan never complained. All he did was adjust his game to fit whatever they were doing and continue to do the work, dirty work, and continue to win. So I have a whole lot of respect for Tim Duncan being able to win in multiple different ways, in multiple different iterations of those Spurs teams. So that was me. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you about to persuade me. I forgot about that, man. Tim did. Kobe won one way.
Mm-hmm.
When they won that second championship, they played a different style of triangle. They played the style like more so like the Warriors play now. But they went and got Phil back, and then they won.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It was the same system with Kobe.
Correct.
Tim Duncan did win when he took the back seat, getting rebound.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get off this phone before you persuade me.
Well, no, that wasn't my intent.
No.
And that I appreciate that Tim could win in a lot of different ways, and that still, even with that, I got Kobe slightly ahead, but it's all good.
Yeah. If anything that hurt Kobe, that everybody's saying now, he's like Smush Parker and Jeremy Lin. Like they say, Kobe wouldn't even talk to them guys. He would.
So I think
wouldn't even look at them.
I think Kobe, his whole thing was, again, is like Transformer said, you could earn Kobe's respect even if you weren't that good by him seeing you work. And if you weren't putting that work in the way he thought you should have, he couldn't tolerate that. I think he knew that he was better than just about everybody, but if he saw you working to maximize whatever it was you had, he could deal with that. And that's kind of my thought. That's where you were, right, Transform?
No, absolutely. I mean, you had to work. Like if you was in the gym and you putting up 1,000 shots like him.
How much does having Shaq, which I think everybody thinks Shaq was the best player in the league, because that's what really separated that. AI was my favorite player,
right?
And just looking back at it, him and Kobe wasn't as close as I thought it was as a kid. I was a big AI fan. That was my favorite player.
Right.
But Shaq was the fastest. I don't know who. I know it's a lot of Kobe fans, and we love Kobe. But Shaq in them 3 finals, especially the AI finals with the 76ers, Shaq was the faster in that final.
So Shaq was a beast in all those finals, right? No question. But the only thing is, and we have to remember this, and you can go back and check on this, and then we're going to move on to the next topic. Shaq doesn't even get to those finals without Kobe's amazing contributions throughout the rest of those playoff runs. He doesn't.
No, he don't. No, he don't. Definitely don't.
Right. And so that's why we got to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my thought. But Nino, thanks so much for calling, man. Yeah, my bad.
We can literally do the same thing for Tim. If you take away Shaq from Kobe, then you got to take away Tony and Manu from Tim. You know what I mean? Like, what is Tim without them? You know what I mean? Like, we can't really do too much with that. Take away, add this, add that.
That's right.
More of appreciation of what they had. You know what I mean? We can guesstimate, but I mean, you take away a co-star from anybody, their whole trajectory of their career is different. You know what
That's
I mean?
true.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's like Olajuwon is my favorite player of all time, and I think those back-to-back title runs in '94 and '95 were some of the greatest we ever saw. But I was just telling my homeboy this earlier today. As much as I have to admit that in '95, if Drexler's not there, Olajuwon doesn't repeat as great as he was. So that is what that is. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's get back to the boxing, and we'll finish this one out. So I was saying
now, so we got time. We got plenty of time.
Okay. Well, yeah, but we're about 2.5 hours in anyway. But no, the point is, Shakur and Tank, we were supposed to have them lined up, and we talked about that last time. But apparently, that deal is not solidified yet. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what promotional arm Shakur is going to be fighting under. He may be a free agent. We don't know what's going on with that. So we're still waiting to see that. No news on that. I guess it was fake news last week. I was under the impression that deal was pretty much done. So it is.
No,
what it is.
I knew from what I read. I heard that Tank sent the contract.
I heard that as well.
Shakur never it was never signed. There was never nothing like. There was never no pen to paper. There was never no contract. There was never no agreement. Apparently, it was just said that Tank sent them an offer. Like, you want to fight? Like, I sent you something. Like, what? Let's talk about it. But other than that, like, there was no true groundwork on it actually being a fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought I had bookmarked it. Anyway,
but chat, that's where y'all come in at, man. Show us something, chat. What do y'all got?
Yeah.
Come on. Who is it? Cal? I mean, Nick. I called him
Nick. Yeah. Nick from the future. Yeah. What's the deal with this fight, man?
Let us know what happened, Nick.
Oh man. But yeah, so we'll definitely keep an eye out for that, because obviously we all love Tank. We know he's one of the faces of boxing, and we're looking forward to see who he's fighting next, and we'll see where it goes from there. But tonight we have Terrence Bud Crawford, one of the best pound for pound fighters on this planet, and he's fighting Israel Madrimov. He's going up to 154, and he's looking at becoming a three-weight division undisputed champion. And if he wins this fight, his goal, he's made it clear, he wants the mega fight with Canelo Alvarez.
He wants Canelo.
Yes, he wants.
Yes.
I know. All right, Steve, I got you, man. I don't know nuclear physics either, but I know a little something about boxing. But yeah, so he wants the big fight with Canelo. Obviously, that's the money fight. That's the legacy fight. And so he wants that, and I'm iffy on that, but that's a different story. We'll get to it. But yeah, Terrence Crawford he's a beast. He's undefeated.
My boy didn't know what he wanted to hug him.
Yeah,
hey, man, come here, man. Let me love you.
He's got technical skill. Ooh,
let me love you.
Yeah, and he's done this from 135, and now he's going up to he's done this from 135, 140, I believe, 147, and now he's going up to 154. So, yeah, he's looking at becoming the undisputed champion at 154. So he wins this fight tonight. The question is going to be, how can Canelo, providing he finishes Edgar Berlanga in September next month, which
I think he will. I think he will.
We all assume he will. I think it's just too big a step up in class for Berlanga, as good as he is.
And he's sloppy. Yeah. He's very, very sloppy. Canelo is very technical.
Very technical, very technical. And, Berlanga has knocked out a lot of guys in his time. Oh, look at that. And he's beaten a lot of guys. He's not a KO artist per se. He has his KOs on his record, but he's also a very sound fighter. And like I said, I just don't think it's time for Berlanga yet. Now, it's going to be cool. Was it Mexican Independence Day? You're going to have the Mexico versus Puerto Rico thing, which is awesome. Look at this body blow right here. Boom.
Look at that.
Now watch when my man goes down. Watch this.
He didn't want that.
That's the liver shot.
Yeah.
Now this is him against Amir Khan.
Amir Khan, yeah.
Amir Khan was winning that fight to that point, but Canelo put him to sleep right there. He just caught him. One thing I love about Amir Khan, he was not a coward. Like he couldn't take a punch, but he had a lot of, and he was never afraid of the big fights, and he tried to make them all. Oof.
Ooh.
Night. So yeah.
Comatose. Don't surprise you and so the Errol Spence one.
Yeah, so I know, right? So I mean, providing Crawford gets through his fight tonight, and then like we said, Canelo gets Berlanga, then we have the negotiations, and hopefully we can get the fight for Canelo against Crawford. But what I don't like is Bud Crawford. He's probably going to have to go up to 168 to fight that fight. And I just don't like that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's what I think Roy started messing up.
I do not like the idea of him going up there trying to carry that fight and deal with Canelo, who we know also has an iron chin. Like Canelo has gotten hit flush by
plenty of guys.
By Triple G.
Yeah.
He did go down. He shook that off. The old liver getter. Yeah, absolutely, Steve. Yeah. That was a brutal liver shot. But yeah, so that's the fight that I want to see. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because I think we're on the same track that Crawford is probably going to win tonight and Canelo's going to win next month. What are your thoughts on a possible showdown between those two?
I think for me, for Terrence to jump that high, I would want to see another fight before then. At that same time, I would want Canelo to fight who we want him to fight right now, and Benavidez.
He doesn't want to do
it. We want to see him fight Benavidez. So I think that's a huge thing. Like a 14-pound jump in a boxing ring, folks don't understand the difference of weight. Like that's a lot to carry around and be boxing.
Yes.
I encourage you guys to put 3-pound weights in both your hands, right? Just put them in both your hands or around your wrist or around your arm. Right. And literally just go punch a bag for about 2 to 3 minutes. Tell me how exhausted you feel after that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what Terrence Crawford is going to be doing, trying to go up against a technical sound fighter who's been at that weight already. That's tough, man.
Right. The only thing I can think is maybe Crawford probably walks around at about 160, but that's totally different than fighting weight.
Weight. That's not fight weight.
That's not fight weight, right? That's walk around weight.
Good. I'm you know what I'm saying? I don't have to work out today.
Right.
I can sip a brewski now. You know what I mean? So like I don't like it for him. I hope that he maybe takes another fight in the meantime, or maybe they can find some kind of even ground somewhere. But 14 pounds is crazy.
Wait. But Canelo's not going to take a catch weight. He is going to want every advantage possible. Because, like, look at it. Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, he fought his whole career at middleweight, 160. And in that third fight, Canelo was like, nah, you got to come up to 168 to fight me. Now, most people think 8 pounds is not that big a deal. But you could actually see the difference in Gennady Golovkin's body with those 8 pounds added on. He couldn't move. And you could actually see that he was looking more pudgy and not nearly as in shape as he was at 160 versus 168. So I can't imagine Crawford is fighting tonight at 154. So to think that he is still got to go up 14 pounds and still try to keep the endurance and still try to keep some speed. Now, maybe it adds on some power, maybe. But again, Canelo is used to getting hit by 168 guys. Yeah. So
in order for Crawford to get to 168, in order for him to get to 160, he's going to have to get to 185. Like, as far as like to walk around, like you're going to have to put on mad weight, because you got to think you're studying for the fight for your conditioning.
Yeah.
So he can't just be 168 going into training camp and he's going to lose all that weight. He's going to have to be about 180, 185, because now training camp is going to drop him down to 175. Conditioning is going to bring him down to 170. Water weight to 168, and then hopefully he could somehow try to maintain that and keep that going into the fight that next night. And depending on how you feel, he may even try to drop even more. He may just try to make 168 be down to 165 come fight time, because he's like, yo, this is heavy. Like I can't move. I need to drop this weight off. So it's gonna be one hell of a. It's gonna take a year. Like that. I mean, we're talking like a year out from a fight, man. Because there's no way in hell you're doing that in 6 months.
No, you don't think so?
Nah, that's tough, bro. You're 154 right now.
You know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to find Bud Crawford on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell him the Transformer going to come out there and train him. That's what we're going to do.
Boy, I'll put some weight on you, Tan. Bud. They call him Bud. Boy, they call him Bud. I'll put some weight on you, my boy. We're going to get you right, boy. You're going to eat good. You're going to live good. And he might walk around. He might walk in that ring and look like Brock Lesnar before I'm done with it. But hey, man, he way too much.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't. As much as I want Canelo to take these fights, but I don't think that's a good move for Bud Crawford. But he's daring to be great though, and I don't think it's necessarily just about the money because he's made plenty of money now.
Yeah.
Obviously, a fight with Canelo would be huge. But yeah, exactly. He wants this legacy thing, and beating Canelo would be incredible for his legacy. But I think it's too much to overcome the size and weight disparity.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot, bro. I mean, I walk around about 190. Well, at this point, I walk around about 187, right?
Okay.
Me adding 15 pounds puts me at 205.
Okay.
205 me versus 187 me.
Mm-hmm.
I get exhausted moving.
Can't move the same.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like for him to do not only 15 pounds at fight weight, you got to go into training camp at 30 pounds heavier than what you are now.
Jeez,
that's tough, bro. That's
right.
Tough.
And the more muscle you have, the more oxygen all those muscles need.
Yes.
Yeah. So
the more you expend a whole lot more energy when you're like Deontay Wilder, for example.
Right.
Deontay Wilder, he tried to get all muscular.
Anthony
it's like,
Joshua,
bro, this ain't about muscle.
Right.
Muscle, like it's taxing. Muscle move around that much is very, very taxing on the body.
The blood flow, the oxygen, red blood cells, all that. Yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I guess we'll see what the future holds, and I
Nick,
guess we'll wrap it right there, man. We will wrap it up right there. So I want to thank everybody who tuned into the show tonight, man. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. Please make sure you're liking and subscribing, and make sure you're sharing the show, man. We do our best to put on a good show for y'all every time we get on. Obviously, via human nature, some shows are going to be better than others, but make sure you're sharing it, man, because when you share it, you're getting it in the hands of more people, and we're going to have a live chat. We're going to have more people in here, and we're going to continue to grow with the subscriber and the channel. All right. Because we want to continue to put out this good content for y'all, man. So thanks so much. I appreciate it. We'll be back probably Wednesday night, unless something else crazy happens.
That'll be after the first round. I mean, the next Olympic fight. Jesus, the basketball game, because we play Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah. Yes. So let's do this, Nick. Listen carefully, Nick. If you're still there, I want you to email me at TheFormatPodcast@outlook.com. TheFormatPodcast. Matter of fact, I'll put it in the chat, and it's running on the bottom of the screen. Format Podcast.
I don't think he emailed us.
Okay.
Outlook.com.
No. So anybody who wants to email me about the show or topics or whatever, you can do that. Definitely, we're always willing to do that. But Nick, make sure you hit me at TheFormatPodcast@outlook.com. I want to get you set up so if you want to call in, you can use WhatsApp to call me. That way you call from Australia for free. And because we love having you here, man. We love your commentary. We love your involvement in the show. So make sure you do that, and I'll get you set up so you can call us. But that's about it. And I guess that's what we got. Great show tonight. Thank you again so much. And we're out. Peace.
Peace.